Hey, now you can probably hear me. Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
I'm probably really loud too. Hang on. Technology. Hi, everybody. Welcome to session 2 of another one Bites the Dice. I am your Dungeon Master, Tyler, and with me are my 4 wonderful, amazing, beautiful players who I'm going to have go around and introduce themselves very quickly, starting with Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey.
Hi, I'm James.
Hi, I'm Nell.
Hi, I'm Liana, and I'm playing Willa.
Thank you, Liana, for introducing both yourself and your character.
You said fast.
I did. The others are their character names are underneath
Does
their
it say
faces.
underneath of me?
It does. It does.
Mine is
Oh.
not complete though. I'm Lady Isadora Maria Ona Coletta Louise de Carlisle. It's pretty upsetting that you didn't bother to include my entire name.
Well, Jeff didn't bother to include your entire name. But anyway, welcome
Your
to
name is like a graphic design artist like nightmare.
Quelmar's own Curse of Strahd campaign. For those of you who weren't with us last time or were with us for only part of the session last time, our players found themselves in a bit of a predicament, to say the least. They were assaulted on the road by this mysterious fog that was seemingly forcing them to take a path through the woods. They arrived at a small hamlet where they saw 2 children outside of a home. Rose and Thorn were the names of the children. The children mentioned that something strange and evil had taken up residence in their house. And our players, being the kind hearted adventurers and students that they are, decided to help these children and do what they could to extricate this monster from the home. But as they soon found out, all was not as it seemed. The home and its occupants were clearly, there was more to the story than those 2 children led on. And as our players made their way through the home, through the different levels of the house, they began to uncover more and more of this mystery. There are mentions of an affair, a bastard child, a count named Strad von Zarevich, who was somehow connected to the family members, the parents of the house.
A dog.
They came upon a
Named
dog
Chair.
named Chair, who is still with them. Chair is with the players as we speak.
Do we need a prop?
If you have a prop close by, you can bring a prop. There's Chair, for all intents and purposes. And soon found that as they made it to the attic of the home, they found the bodies of the 2 children who they had met outside, and learned that those 2 children were in fact dead. The ghost of the children then appeared to our players, and the ghost of the young girl Rose reached out to our bard Willa and entered her body, and Willa became possessed. But through that possession, our players were given access to the basement of the home, and that is where they find themselves as we begin. But as your feet land on the crumbled and sodden dirt floor of the basement, you feel a presence overtake all of you. And your eyes suddenly go dark. Zoot, you see a tall figure in front of you, looming over you, growing larger and larger, a dark cowl, seeming as if it's going to consume you, when suddenly wings burst from the sides of it. The figure disappears, and you are flooded with memories of battle. Winter, you witness a humble home engulfed in flames. And as those flames lick the sides of the dwelling, your arms, without you telling them to, spring into action and begin to fashion a rope ladder seemingly from thin air as you run towards the building and the screaming voices that you can hear from the upper windows. Willa, you watch in horror as Winnie runs toward the burning homestead, seemingly spinning her hands in the air but conjuring nothing. You're filled with this overwhelming sense of dread. But you quickly begin to conjure from nowhere a wave of energy that moves from your hand and wraps itself around the home as the flames subside. And Isadora, you witness your brother, Sebastian, lying in a pool of his own blood. As his body floats in front of your vision and his hand lifts to touch your face, you reach out and touch it. And the wounds that are all through his chest begin to close. And as you wake, welcome to level 2. You feel a sense as if you've just had what some might call a bit of a long rest. And Willa, you are no longer possessed, though the skeletons of the children are still with you.
Are they gone? Is she out?
Yeah, I don't feel her anymore.
I walk up to Willow and I like get real close to your face and like look you dead in the eyes. Are you sure she's gone?
Yeah, I don't hear her at all.
How many fingers am I holding up?
4.
Okay. Don't ever do that again.
I mean, to be fair, that was completely unintentional. I didn't expect to be possessed, but okay, I will try to avoid it from here on out. I'm sorry I upset you.
What the hell just happened?
It was rather unpleasant, and I would certainly recommend we keep moving so as not to suffer a repeat of whatever that was.
Hey, you don't want to suffer a repeat. That felt great. I don't know what you saw.
Glad you enjoyed it, Zoot.
Wait, let's just wait here. It might happen again.
All right. I like tug anxiously on my gloves.
I think that was a blessing. I've heard about this from the Watchers. Some sort of divine intervention that... It's a boon, a benefit.
Just snuffed too much fog. That's what happened.
My god is not here right now, so if it's a boon, it's... I don't know who it's from.
I think the Watchers are watching us. I don't know what that means, but I hear them say that a lot.
Do you have a god, Zoot, in your watches? What do you worship someone? I'm curious. I know now's not the time. Just real fast.
There was a theology class I was supposed to take next semester. I didn't get to next semester.
All right. Well, I can't talk to you about much, but if you're curious, I have one singular god I can tell you. Well, 2. Spent a lot of time. 1, really. Anyways, we should move on. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. Let's keep moving.
Alright, well, after what happened with that armor, we should stay close. I don't want us getting separated like before.
Fine by me.
I guess I'll follow you then.
There's some sort of kitchen and dining area this way. Are we comfortable going this way first?
When he's going in the opposite direction. Like
No,
he's
no,
going
no,
first.
no, no! This is exactly what I didn't want!
I'm going to reach for Winnie, and I'm gonna just like try and yank her along with me.
Oh,
All right, so here's the deal. I promise not to get possessed if you promise not to walk away from the party.
Wait, Isadora! Okay.
Yes, I'm right
with
here.
I'm
the
not
group.
walking away. I thought we were going this way.
I was walking. You all said you were following me. I expected you all to follow me. Do you need me to turn around and
Well, they started going the other way.
Guys,
Well,
guys,
that's not
guys,
my
Freaking out!
fault.
I'm freaking out!
we're literally in a place with monsters, okay? I really think that we should probably be quiet. They can probably hear us. So let's just...
Come and get us, why don't you? Let's
No,
get this
no.
over with.
No,
I draw my
absolutely
my
not.
halberd.
I thought we were going this way. There looked like there was something cool this way. That's why I went this. Were you not going this way?
I was just following Isadora. Although,
Why didn't you
now that I'm
follow
thinking
her?
about it, I know. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure that's the best idea. After she just yelled. But here's
I
the
mean,
deal.
I'm not like about to follow somebody who literally held their hand out to a little boy ghost and was like, "Come, child, come to me."
Well, let's be real. I did that too, and you follow me everywhere. So,
We're related. I love
Isadora, they're
you.
talking about you.
I can hear them. It's very rude.
let's stick to the shadows, everyone, and try and be quiet as we
But
move
you know,
forward.
Zoot, we have to be kind to those who don't have the same upbringing, the same breeding, the same manners. We must teach them by example.
Breeding.
Can I fight her now? Sis, no. Can I fight her? Please let me punch her.
Let's just keep going. Shh. Okay, so I'm just gonna follow after her, but I'm gonna stay close to the shadows if I can.
You're following Winter.
I'm following. I thought we were going straight ahead, aren't we? Oh, this way? Is this where everyone's going?
I don't know where Isadora went.
I'm in the room where you left me, Zoot. I haven't gone very
Oh,
far.
Look at
I
table.
hear you. There you are.
I'm right here.
Okay. So I think we're
Looking around
going
the corner.
straight up here.
This way?
Let's
Look, there's a
do-
table.
The other way. I think it's
Oh, the other way?
this-
Willa and Winnie, roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
Oh,
19.
Okay. Winnie?
15.
Okay, so as you walk down that hallway, Winter, towards the open room before you, the hallway on either side of you, that opening, through that opening, you're able to spot sort of symmetrically lined crypts on either side of the hallway.
Which one? Like one of these hallways, or like the one in here with the benches?
The hallways to the left and right of you.
Awesome. Yeah. Willa,
Hmm.
look.
What? I'll follow around. Huh.
Wonder who's buried here.
I don't know.
Let's go see. Wait,
Well-
didn't you have to bury the kids? The bodies of the
Wait.
kids?
I was thinking about it, but here, really, I mean, this place is awful. I feel like maybe we should, like, bury them under a pretty tree or something.
Away from their family?
I mean, their family seemed a little... Anyway, so... I don't know. Maybe if we see her again, we can ask her.
I don't think we'll be seeing them again.
We should get everyone else. Right?
Yeah. Hey, Suit!
Oh, no. We'll just go and grab them. I'm gonna march down the hall towards where I saw them disappear. And I'm going to peek around the corner. We found something down here if you guys wanna come and check it out.
Yes. Do we think I can leave these Can I leave the children here for now? I'm worried I won't be any good in a battle with 2 skeletons in my arms.
I think we might be able to leave them down here.
All right, very well.
And I'll kind of walk down here.
I shoulder my parasol and carry the skeletons.
I'll help carry a skeleton.
Thank you.
I'll
you,
take at
Zeus.
least one.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens. That's all I think about. Okay. So, yeah.
Look, there's crypts.
See.
Do you go up to each one?
Yeah, I'd like to see if there are names on them or anything.
Okay. So Isadora, on your side, you see on the crypt that you're currently in front of the name Rosavalda Durst.
I'll put Rosa's skeleton on top of it.
You put the skeleton on top of it?
Yeah, I just set it on top for now.
Okay. The other in that chamber is...
I will, I'm not even gonna look. Don't even tell me. I'm just gonna put the other body on top of it.
Okay, I'm gonna go look though once it is done.
What? I thought we were putting the bodies down.
That
Yes,
is
but
Thornbolt Durst's coffin.
perfect. You did very well, Zoot. You've been practicing your reading? I'm so impressed.
Yes.
We'll do some more lessons once we get out of here. You're going to learn to write my name next. Your name first, my name next.
Winnie, you see... Well, you're not quite sure at first. The stone slab that's meant to be on top of this is leaning to the side. The crypt is unsealed. And it's empty. And on it is the name Gustav Durst, and below that, Walter Durst.
What about the other one?
Roll an investigation check for me.
It's a good one.
While she's doing that, can I just go over and I'm just gonna like quietly like pray beside the bodies that we just planted down?
Oh shit, I'm a cleric. I should do that
23.
too, shouldn't I? I'll also pray.
23.
Yeah.
So that
I'm very smart.
crypt, it's tough to see. It seems like the name has been scratched and tried to have been destroyed, but you're able to see through that and see the name Elizabeth Durst. But as you approach that coffin, the walls around you begin to move. And suddenly
Nuts.
you
Not
are
my problem.
you are surrounded by a swarm of centipedes crawling between the cracks of the walls and dropping onto the coffin and rushing towards you in this black, tumbling, oozing wave. I need you to roll initiative.
Does Winnie scream?
No.
Okay.
Okay!
Okay.
She's kind of like in shock at the moment.
Initiative roll?
Yep. 13.
So as you freeze in that moment of shock, the swarm is able to reach the base of your legs and begin to crawl up, and they're going to begin to bite you. That's a 16 to hit.
How long is this prayer thing,
That hits.
Hector?
I'm done. Mine is very short. I just basically say, "Hi, Krellin. Give a little wink down here, please. Thanks." And that's it. That's what I do.
I did my part. I watched.
You did. That was very kind of you. Thank you for the emotional eyeball support.
Winnie, you take 8 piercing damage as the centipedes begin to bite up your legs. It's your turn.
Thanks for that, Pilot. I'm dipping. I'm getting the math out of here. I'll disengage and I will run, and as I'm running, I don't think I'm swatting them off because I'm still like in shock.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like running out, and you all, if you're there, you see me just covered in centipedes.
Okay, the centipedes are going to follow, and as the swarm sort of wraps up the sides of the walls and covers the floor and begins to make that turn around the corner, I need the other 3 of you to roll initiative, please.
From 11.
I got a
8 total.
I got an 18.
Zoot, I snoop booped you. You have an advantage. I snoop booped you to give you dark vision and advantage on initiative.
How long does that last?
Until somebody uses it, and then I get to do it again.
Yes.
And I didn't use that in the armor battle?
You did. I don't know.
I'll say I did.
It doesn't matter because I snoop booped you right before session in the basement.
Right, you long rested, so I'll give you advantage on initiative.
I'll take it. I'll take the advantage. It is not an 8. It is going to be a 13.
Okay. Okay, so as the swarm of insects turns the corner, they're faced with the first form that they see in front of them is Lady Isadora, and they're going to begin to swarm at you. That is a 21 to hit.
That's absolutely going to hit.
I am going to use my big ass shield, and I am going to impose disadvantage on that attack.
Okay.
By reaching out in front of Lady Isadora, because she's within 5 feet of me, and just smashing some bugs away with. Just reach forward over top of her.
Okay. That is an 8 to hit. I'm assuming that does not hit. So
That does not hit. Thank you so much, my friend.
Willa, it is your turn.
Okay, so let me look at this a little bit. Everyone is in my way. I can't use what I was gonna use. Okay, so I am going to. How many are on Winnie right now?
Too many.
There are some still crawling on her legs, but the swarm has engulfed the space that Lady Isadora is currently occupying.
Okay. So. I am going to use, I guess I'm just gonna target, like, am I targeting the swarm or am I targeting one? Like, how many
You're
are there?
targeting the swarm. There are.
Okay.
It is a moving, vibrating, crawling mass of centipede. It's just legs and biting at this point.
Okay. I am going to try and use, we'll see. Hold on, let me pull it up. Really? I am going to, okay. I am going to say, everyone stop attacking as my free action, And then I am going to cast Unearthly Chorus. So I'm going to start with like a very quiet song. It's going to start with like a low hum. But then it's going to kind of get louder as I get closer to Isadora. So...
And can you explain what Unearthly Chorus does?
Yeah, so music kind of fills the air, and it spreads around all the corners in like a 30-foot radius. The creature must make a charisma saving throw. And if they fail it, they become friendly to me because they just love my voice so much.
Okay. What's your spell DC?
So, 13.
They rolled a 15.
All right.
Ooh, but they are a swarm of centipedes, and they have a -5 to charisma, so they rolled
that's what
they
you
rolled
figured.
a 10.
Yeah. So,
It succeeds.
yeah. So they're friendly to me? They want to be my friends?
They have stopped moving, and you see sort of this mass of bugs melt off the walls and form this sort of writhing mound on the floor in front of you. But they are no longer... They're no longer... Before they were sort of forcing themselves down the hall and trying to engulf any of you that they could, and they have all pulled back to this single space in the hallway and are just sort of waiting and writhing over one another.
So,
Do you eat these
Stop.
ones?
shh, no. What? We're not going to eat them. We're not going to attack them. I'm
I don't
going
know, maybe
to...
Zoot's hungry.
No, we're not. We can't. If we do that, they'll engage with us again. So I'm going to approach the mound, and I am going to
You can have my spot there. Please take it. All yours.
smile at them, and I'm going to say, go back to where you came from. And I'll roll for persuasion. Ooh, they're fucked. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
So as you say,
My hero.
go back to where you came from, they disappear around the corner and vanish from sight.
That was very helpful. If you can do that again, that would be great. I would like to boop Willa Wimmingin's snoot to give her the advantage on initiative next time.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Oh.
Welcome.
All of this talk of bugs, I'm gonna pull out my kebab, my little cream kebab, and I'm just gonna quietly just take a few bites, a little bit of cream meat. I don't have anything else to.
Was there anything else in there beside the bugs?
Yeah. Does anybody have like any heals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want? I have
If I
something.
if I were to give you a scale of 1 to 17, I'm like a 2.
I think Zoot's the freest of the three of us, Zoot. If you want to show off that hand thing you can do again.
It only
You're
works
talented
half the
phalanges.
time, but I'll try.
Hey, that's passing in physics.
Alright, stand still. Hold on. I gotta put the shield away. I gotta resheath the halberd. Sorry, I gotta get into the right mind. Alright, I'm a watcher. Alright, watch this.
And I'll touch her, and I'll lay on hands 7 points of health.
Nice.
Whoa!
Did it work? It feels like it worked. Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
Thank
you're
you.
at 2/3 now, Zoot. Very impressive.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Thank
it
you.
failed for you last time. It succeeded for Winter this time. So the next time I do it, it's not gonna work.
That's not,
Not
the right
necessarily.
attitude.
We're still collecting data. We may have just upped the statistic to 2/3 of the time.
I don't know what you're saying. Those are
And we
just
restart.
words.
Next time it works, and then it doesn't work, and then it works again.
All right, here, let me try. Hold on. Stand still, Winter.
I'm gonna go ahead and give Winter the last of my 3 hit points.
Okay.
It's okay. It's fine, actually. I have spare the dying as a cantrip, so it's fine.
Winnie, take
No one's gonna.
Take 10.
take
Thank you.
10 total.
I'll walk up to Zoot and I won't say anything. You're so much taller than me. I'll just pat you on the arm. Thank you.
That's for the kebab.
Is it working
All
out
right.
pretty well?
Well, touching as this is, there are a lot of bones in this room.
Oh, there was
Just a note.
a name on that one crypt that I just got attacked from.
What was the name?
It was Elizabeth. What was the last name again, Tyler?
Durst.
Bugs.
The name on
Durst.
all of the last name on all of the crypts was Durst.
And then something weird. So the other crypt had, I think, the brothers, but it was opened.
Is that where the bugs came from?
No, that one was the crypt of. What were the names? I'm so sorry.
So the one that did not have the centipedes was Gustav Durst and Walter Durst. And
But the bodies were missing.
correct. They were both empty.
Well, I mean, probably the thing hanging in the bedroom.
Gustav
Okay.
was sorry. Do we know, was Gustav the father or the brother of the father? Because we've seen the name Gustav before.
I thought you have the letter, don't you?
Yes, let me check it. I'm so sorry. I do not remember.
Why do we care?
Well, there's no
Just
bodies
might
in
explain
there.
what's facing us.
It's
So-
ghosts and wizard magic. We've seen it already.
I don't know how long I can keep the bugs inside of their hidey hole. So I feel like we should get moving and not stand in the hallway because I don't want to get eaten.
All right, behind me. I'll take the lead.
And I'll put my big giant shield up in front.
Okay.
Yes, Gustav was the father. So, hanging man, yes.
I'm
Walter was the son, right? The bastard son.
Walter was the bastard son, yes.
I think I'm gonna lead us down, and because that seems like it'll get us further from the bugs than going left right at the moment.
Hmm.
So I'll take us into this hall. But I'll say
There's a crossroads up ahead. We can go any direction.
And Zoot, as you hit that hallway,
We can go any direction except for that one.
Okay.
through the floor in front of you, you see
Tyler, I'm moving my fingers to get the screen adjusted because it's the only way I can move the screen. I'm putting her back where she is.
okay.
you see 4 ghoulish figures
The only way we can go is back.
appear. I need all of 4 of you to again roll new initiative, please.
I get an advantage.
Willa, you have advantage for this one roll. Yes.
All right, got it. Ho-ho! Natural 20. So that'll be a 23.
Aw, is James upset?
They ambushed me. Okay, I got a 6.
15.
They might as well just get a surprise round at this point.
Winnie?
16.
Okay, so as they appear through the ground, this one closest to you, Zoot, I will say, reaches out and attempts to swipe at you.
Swiper,
Let him
no
try.
swiping.
That is a That is a 12 to hit.
Nah, I got chainmail.
Okay.
Nothing hits
So
me.
it reaches its claw out and swipes at you, and it just sort of glances off the side of your mail.
I'll look over my shoulder and I will say,
I can buy us time if you guys want to get some space. We shouldn't be in a hallway. We don't want to bottleneck ourselves.
Fall back. There's a table. We can block up the exit.
Willa, it's your turn.
I fall back. And do as I'm told. So I am going to try and lift the table.
Give me a strength check.
Okay. Not bad. 16?
Yeah, as you lift, you realize that the benches are attached to this table. It's almost like an old school picnic table type setup. It's a lot heavier than you originally anticipated because of that. You're not just trying to move the table, you're trying to move the benches as well. So you can nudge them, but it feels like doing this by yourself, it's going to take you some time to get that table to block an entrance.
Okay, so free action, I'm gonna just say I need a hand.
Okay. Isadora, what are you doing? Or I'm sorry, Winnie. Winnie, you had a 16. My bad. Yeah, Winnie, you're up.
Yeah, this was Winnie's plan. She's going to tell everybody, fall back. We can block up the exit with the table. Just fall back, and I will go back here and assist Willa in pushing the table with my -1 strength.
Okay, give me a roll with advantage because Willa's helping you.
7 and an 18.
So with an 18, with both of you pushing, you're able to sort of nudge it further. You get it pushed all the way up against the wall with the door, but there's still an opening. You still need to somehow...
Well, we're waiting for the other two to come out, and then we'll, yeah.
So it is moved to the opening, but not yet covering the opening. Now, Isadora, what are you doing?
Can I, Tyler, this is a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I step forward into Zoot's space, cast Word of Divine Radiance, and step out? Like, I'm fine to take the opportunity attacks. Oh, no, never mind. I can see 2 of them. That's fine. I'm going to stay right where I am and cast Word of Radiance on the 2 I can see.
Okay.
They must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
For the 2 dead ahead. And they have to beat a... What do they have to beat? They have to beat a 13.
Okay, what happens to them when you...
They
Pass
take
that word.
1d6 radiant damage if they fail.
Okay.
Oh, that's great. They take 2 points of radiant damage.
Okay, you see both of them. You see this newfound ability sort of burst forth from you, and both of them take what you perceive to be the full brunt of this damage as they are engulfed in this radiant energy. Yeah, you got them. It is their turn. So, Zoot, you are going to... That is a 5, an 8, a 14, and an 18 to hit.
The 18 hits.
Okay.
Everything else I'll push aside and try to brush off.
Okay, so as you're sort of dealing with the 3 in front of you, this one comes up from the hallway behind you, and he is going to make 2 attacks. Or, I'm sorry, he's going to make an additional attack. That is a 21.
Yes.
Okay. So the
18
first
and
one is a bite attack. That is 8 points of piercing damage. And 9 points of slashing damage. And as he bites you and claws you, you just hear and feel this nasty behind your head as it reaches out and claws the back of your neck. Zoot, it is your turn.
Great. I am going to... Oh my god, Isadora, you didn't move. You didn't move, Isadora!
You can push past me. You can move for friendly space. I'm okay.
Now, if you were to take 17 points of damage right now, Nell, what would have happened to you?
I would almost be standing.
Just pick her ass up. Just
Almost.
Pick her up and
I wasn't gonna leave you here alone. We're Team Tank.
I mean, I want to take the action to disengage, because if I don't, and one of the 3 attacks of opportunities I'm going to get, I mean, I have to use my action to disengage. There's literally nothing else smart I can use my action on here. So then I guess I can't pick you up. It's like, is it an action to pick her up? What is it to pick up Isadora?
It would be an action to pick her up, and then you'd be moving at half speed.
That's what I figured. So
It's
do I have
okay.
a bonus action? I have, let's see.
I think I go before they do, so I'm really fine where I am.
Okay.
I'm really more fine than it looks.
I
Hopefully. Knock on
will get
wood.
right up here. I'll clear the entrance. Nobody can see you now. You're on your own. I'm going completely off of your word. You said you're right behind me. You said you're faster.
I'm right behind you. I'll be right there.
Yep. Okay. Good luck. Turns over. Wait, no. As a bonus action, I want to take my torch, and I want to grab my halberd, which I still have equipped, and I want to slide the torch into the hole where the blade meets the handle, because halberds are kind of like an axe with a little hole in the back. Anyway, I'll take the torch and I'll shove it in there, and I'll crack it across the wall and try to light it, so that my halberd now has some sort of searing smite-like ability.
Okay.
Turn over.
Willa, you're up.
Where are you in proximity, my friend? All right, I see you. You're looking kind of bad, right? I am going to rush forward, reach into my backpack and pull out this like red swirling liquid, and I'm gonna pass it
Oh.
towards you.
Is that to Winter or me?
To you, because you're
Oh,
hurt.
cool. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna shove it towards you, and it's a potion of healing.
Great.
And then, let's see. So, here, and then I'll just take a step back, and then just say, here, help us with this.
Okay. You're not moving at all? Just running to Zoot and then running back?
I'm running to Zoot and then running back.
Back to the table? Okay. Winnie,
Yeah.
you're up.
I'm gonna hold so tell me, is the table, it's up against it, but it's not.
It's to the wall. You just need to close the entrance if that's what you're trying to do. Currently it's still an opening. The table's not in front of it at all. It's
So
just
is
next to it.
It's like in the slot, but we have to like lift it up vertically to actually like slam it between the door to block it.
Yes.
So I could potentially like hop on over, take a peek, see where Lady Isadora is, if she's like on her way.
You could, yes.
Nah, I don't care about her that much. I'm just gonna hold my turn, and as soon as I see Lady Isadora come out, I'll push to block the exit. And yeah.
Okay, Isadora, it's your turn.
Right, I will raise my hands, which are fully gloved in the white gloves, and they will begin to glow. And I will speak out loud an elvish phrase that I learned in my temple, and I will attempt to use my channel divinity to turn undead. They each have to make, I believe, a wisdom saving throw. Yes, each undead that can see or hear within 30 feet of me must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. What's the DC?
13. No, James, I don't like that laugh.
None of them are affected.
That's
that's two 16s and two 17s.
You know what? My arms glowed really pretty.
They
and nothing
did.
happened.
They did.
I'll take the 2 opportunity attacks instead of waiting for anything else. I'll turn and try to run.
Okay.
What did you say in Elvish? What was the word?
Fear me.
Ooh.
Yeah, you do speak Elvish. You would understand that. Yeah, she says fear me in Elvish.
That is a 16 and a 16.
They both hit, I believe. Yes, they do.
Okay.
You said you were right behind me.
You know what?
said you
I
were
had
right
a
behind
chance.
me.
You take
Make all of them run away.
you take
Bye.
8 points of piercing damage and 7 points of slashing damage.
All right, that's all right. I'm still moving. I'm still up, and I'm going to get into the room, and I'm going to I'm gonna move. I'm not gonna create the bottleneck. Sorry, Zeus. I can't really take one more hit.
Okay.
Nah, you'll heal me. I'll stay right there. I believe in you. You'll dump something down my throat. I'll stand right there.
So Isadora, you're currently standing. So Isadora is in the spot where the table would have to go.
Can I like make a wisdom saving throw to figure out to see if I can figure out what they're doing?
Make it with disadvantage because you just got bit and clawed up the back by 2 ghoulish undead creatures.
I have no idea what they're doing, and I, like the hero I am, plant myself in the doorway.
Okay. Well, the ghouls are going to begin to pile into the hallway. And
This is good. They can attack one at a time.
the first one, because that's the only one that can reach you, is going to make 2 attacks.
Yeah, that's fine. Everything is fine.
That's a 12 and an 11.
Neither will hit.
Okay, so as they're sort of crawling over each other in the hallways, the tight space is clearly affecting them as all 4 of them try to crawl over one another. And so it reaches out to claw you, and it just hits the wall and glances off. Willa, it's your turn.
Move her. Please move her.
I am going to rush forward. I'm gonna yank Isadora back. And I'm going to grab another swirly liquid and just thrust it into her hands.
Okay, make a strength check for me.
Alright. Shit. It's a 14.
Yeah, you grab her, and Isadora, you sort of feel a hand grab the back of your dress and just yank you, stumbling further into the chamber, over the table. And she is out of the way.
Can I have her like on her back on the table and just like no, it's not sexual, I swear.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just trying to get to a point where I can just like I want to dump it in your mouth.
Stop! Oh my god, it's not sexual. You're putting me on my back and shoving a bottle in my mouth.
Or just on your butt. Just somewhere where I can just dump it. I just want to dump it for you so you don't have to waste an action to take it.
Well, I'm going to say it was your action to grab her and pull her out of the way, so you can't then also
I guess.
feed her
Okay,
the
well-
potion.
Can I hold it? Can I hold the potion? Can I have it out?
Yeah, you can
So
give
I
it.
can
You
drink
can
it from
give
your
it
hand?
to her.
Okay.
You just can't.
Okay.
She just can't. You can't give it to her.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then disregard.
Tyler, remind me, are we, I know you're a big Critical Role fan. Are we doing the bonus action potions? We are. Okay, great. Cool. I've got a potion in my hand that Willa has also used. Great.
Yes, take a potion is a bonus action. Winnie.
I am shoving this table with all of my tinkering strength to block up this door. I will say, Zoot, big guy, I'm gonna need you real soon. And I will try to shove, or at least I'll start trying to block up the exit of the table. Well,
Isadora is still on the table. So are you trying to tip up the table with Isadora on it and sort of throw her into the ghouls, like catapult her forward? It's a big decision.
about breeding?
I did not put myself on the table.
Yes, you did! You put yourself in front of the table!
Your sister, who I don't know what she knows about breeding or wants to do with breeding, put me here.
Breeding? We're breeding?
What are you doing, Winnie?
I don't know if that's gonna work.
We can always run.
Abandon all hope.
You can push me off and let Zoot get the table. It just...
Yeah, I'll probably, I can't like push her off the, I can't push her off the table and still push the table in the same action without throwing her back at the ghouls. Hate this woman. I will push her off the table. Probably in a less concerned manner, Willa put her on the table.
Roll a strength check for me.
Just don't break the potion, I yell.
It's a 13.
I'm gonna say that you try to push her off, and she just sort of looks at you, puzzled as to why you're pushing her. And
Get off the table! You obnoxious, pretentious asshole!
Isadora, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Well, that
How do we
was
turn a hard game
very
into a
uncalled
comedy?
for.
Was there a
And I'm
push with
going
every
to-
word? Was that like a obnoxious,
table.
pretentious?
I am not going to get off the table because I was spoken to so rudely. I'm going to drink my health potion on the table, which I assume is 2d4 plus
2d4 plus 2.
That's a 4, that's a 1, so that's 7 points back. And then I'm going to sit on the table, right where I am, stare daggers at the one zombie in the door, and cast a word of whatever my spell is that does radiant damage. No, actually, you know what? This is real spell time. This is not cantrip time. I'm gonna show off because I'm really mad about this. This was very rude. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt. Which is my spell attack. That is a 14.
That hits. Roll that damage.
Alright. Okay, that is Guiding Bolt 4d6 plus. Sorry, I don't know any of my spells. .46, and then the next attack against it has advantage.
Correct.
So that is 5, 11, 13, 14 points of radiant damage. And next attack is advantage. And I'm going to stay right on the table. So that was rude as shit.
I love you now.
Love you too.
Okay.
Lady Isadora, I'm so sorry.
That ghoul that you just guiding bolted is going to see you sitting on the table, stumble forward, and attempt to claw at you. It wants to bite you. You can see its mouth just this like gaping, ready to strike. but it can't quite reach you because you're on the table, so it reaches out a giant claw, and that is a 22 to hit.
Is this a situation I can use protection? I know she's diagonally adjacent to me. I don't remember what we're doing for...
You are with... If she's diagonal to you, I'll say that she is within 5 feet of you. So I will roll that with disadvantage.
Then as he claws out, I'll just nudge him with my shield and knock him aside.
That is an 11, or sorry, that is a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. He reaches out to claw you, and as he does,
Second time I've had to do this for you
Zoot-
now.
Zoot sort of just nudges him with the shield, and his claw he stumbles, and his claw digs into the table next to you. Zoot, it's your turn.
Great.
It's not my fault I'm a cleric tank.
You can hear behind him that the other ghouls are
Yep.
following.
I am
quickly.
going to... I'll take one step here so that I'm still adjacent to him, and would I just need to take an action to just grab the underside of the picnic table and flip it 90 degrees up?
Yes, Isadora is still on the table.
Great. I am going to...
I'm fine with this.
No. Hold on. I think I have something for this. I am going to...
Remember, you have advantage on him if you attack him.
As a bonus action, I'm going to take my potion that I still have in my hand that I already forgot about. So it's 2d4 plus 2. So I will heal up a grand total of 9. That's nice. And then I will flip it up 90 degrees and basically drop Isadora on top of the zombie.
Okay.
So if the table is a token, it's still in its square, but I've just flipped it up so that she falls on top of the zombie.
Yep. Make a strength check for me.
Got that plus 5. That's sweet, sweet. Plus 5. Oh yeah, 17.
With a 17, you are able to flip the table 90 degrees. Isadora, you slide off the end of it and land on this undead creature that is just groaning and growling underneath you, and it's flailing about. I'm gonna say, Isadora, make an athletics check for me with disadvantage because he didn't tell you that he was gonna do this. He just did it.
That's something I'm very, very bad at. That would be with disadvantage, a 6.
Okay, you're prone on top of the ghoul. Willa, it's your turn.
So I still have an earthly chorus it's like a 10-minute long spell. And I didn't know if I still had its concentration, but I haven't used any spells. I've just moved and given people potions.
Yep, and you haven't taken damage, so you didn't need to make any con saves, so you're good.
Okay. All right, so I'd like to call back my friends if I could. So I'm going to roll for deception, and I'm going to say those creatures are trying to attack what you protect.
Give me a persuasion roll instead of a deception
Persuasion?
roll. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
From behind you, you begin to feel the presence of this swarm of black insects
And I'm just humming under my breath, and I'm also saying, "Don't touch them." I incorporate that into my song.
And
Don't
they
touch them.
and they enter the room, and sort of every time they're one mass of insects, but every time they approach one of you, they just sort of split around you and then immediately reform.
Oh, it's like Mummy, the Mummy. Do you
It's
remember those
very
bugs?
so think of the scarab beetles from the Mummy. That's exactly.
Wait, was that movie with Brendan Fraser?
It was that
Yeah.
movie with Brendan Fraser. With Brendan Brazier.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, Kelsey.
So, are
So,
the bugs?
the bugs
so if the bugs
are-
a big pile on the ground, and Isadora is prone on the ground next to the bugs. You would say Isadora is very close to the bugs.
So as they move forward, the bugs
Yes.
engulf the first ghoul, which means they also engulf Isadora. They
Isadora, don't touch them. Isadora, don't touch them. They won't
I don't
hurt
think
you.
I had a choice.
They won't hurt you. They're just here to live a bug's life.
Yeah, you see them engulf that first ghoul on the ground, and it screams this sort of wretched, disgusting scream, and it is gone. It sort of
this
dematerializes back into the floor, but the next one is sort of hot on its trail, and you can now see it clearly in the hallway. Willa, anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna tell them, good job.
This is so cute.
This is way better than PvP. Instead of attacking Isadora for being insubordinate, we tripped her and then covered her in bugs. Way more traumatizing.
I'm really
She's having a
sorry.
pretty bad day.
All right, Winnie, what are you doing?
Is Lady Isadora isn't on the table anymore, right?
No, she is prone on the ground, covered in centipedes. You actually can barely see her. Isadora, you can breathe for now. If you stay down there much longer, you're gonna have to start rolling.
This is my nightmare.
It'd be great if someone helped you. I will go here and use my action to try and swap them off and pull her out.
You're going to swat them?
Like I'm going to
Leave
Stop.
me there. Don't hurt the bugs.
Do you go and sort of
Oh, I'm covered in
bat them away and try to get to her?
Oh wait, didn't Willa say not to touch them?
Yes, that was part of the song.
Right. Now I'm good. I'm just gonna take out a bag of popcorn. But I will hold my turn in case.
Do you want to ready anything?
Yeah. I will.
Maybe ready moving the table if the space is freed?
No, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Good.
'Cause that's what I did. Except Lydia's door was on the table, so yeah, I will.
I was spoken to very rudely, and no one explained what was happening. So you know what? I don't feel bad.
I'll just once she's out of the way, I will try to push the table back into position of blocking the entrance.
Okay, Isadora, it's your turn.
I am going to stand up as slowly and calmly as I can, because this is the worst day of my life. And that uses half my movement or all of my movement to stand up.
Stand is half your movement.
Half my movement. I'm going to gently take a step this way, beside Zoot. There's my movement. And then I'm going to... Oh, I want to use... Oh no, I'm still within range, so I don't have to disengage to get there. So I'll use my action to Word of Radiance him again. He must make a con save.
Okay. That is an 18.
Oh, he succeeds. That's fine. My hands glow again. Nothing happens. My gloves glow. Nothing happens.
And that
Doesn't
was
work for me every time either.
Are you gonna let's see. You've still got 5 more feet of movement, or are you gonna stay there?
I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay.
I do not want that attack of opportunity at the moment.
So does the if Winter's prepared action was as soon as she's cleared the way, we move the table, does that go now or on their turn?
That'll go on Winnie's turn. Or no, I'm sorry. It'll go now. Isadora moved out of the way. So Winnie, go ahead and make a strength check for me. With advantage because Zoot is helping.
With advantage, it's a 16.
Okay. 16, you both are able to lift the doorway. Or, I'm sorry, lift the table into the doorway. As you do, you crush a good portion of the swarm of centipedes. And they are no longer charmed.
That's fine.
And they are going to they're gonna make an attack at, let's see, Winnie and Zoot, you just lifted the table. Isadora, you're closest though, so they're gonna try and climb up and bite Isadora.
That's cool, guys.
That is a 14 to hit.
That will not hit.
Okay,
Thank
so
the Lord.
they're climbing on you and you can feel them, but
Back them away with my parasol.
okay, and as you do, you sort of open up the parasol and they're crawling up you, but they're no longer able to bite you. You can hear, as this happens and you get the table sort of slammed up in front of the door, you can hear the ghouls just battering and throwing and hurling themselves into this wooden table. You can see as they do, hands sort of reaching through and around and trying to claw and paw at any sort of holes they can between the planks in the table. And as the sort of thud over and over again of these bodies hitting the table, you can see the wood in the table start to crack and splinter. It's holding for now, but you don't know how long it's going to. Zoot, your turn.
Yep. Great. Perfect. I am going to let's see, the bugs are there. Oh, but I can attack diagonally. Great, yes. I am going to go ahead and lean. I'll lean across the bugs with my halberd, which is still set to searing mode. And I'm just going to give that table one big hack with my searing smite, and that is going to set the table ablaze.
Yes, it will. Roll an attack for me.
Yeah.
To hit make sure that you
Yep.
actually hit the table.
Halberd. I don't hit the table because that is a 6, unless the table has a very low AC.
So your halberd sort of slams into the table and it splits between two of the planks, but doesn't get all the way through. So you make contact, but the searing smite does not take effect on the table.
Yeah. I mean, I'll try that again in a second.
Okay, Willa, you're up.
I'm gonna say, abandon all hope, and I'm gonna haul ass.
Which way you going?
Not the way where there's zombies and centipedes. and I'll add like run. So I'm gonna get as far as I can with my movement, but I am going to give who's closest to all of the chaos right now.
Isadora.
Isadora, I am going to give you some bardic inspiration.
Very kind of you.
How do you go about doing that?
I am going
It's the first one of the campaign.
Look at her, and I am going to sing "Fear Me" back to her in Elvish.
Yo!
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
Isadora, you have a bardic inspiration die. Keep that with you.
Is that a D6 or D8?
Currently a D6.
Great.
Winnie, you see your sister sort of say these elvish words, "Fear me," and then she sprints in the opposite direction. What are you doing? You got Zoot axing tables. Bugs are crawling on Isadora.
I think it's about time we tried the flee action. So I will also flee in with my sister.
Okay. I was gonna say, with flee, you're able to pretty much get all the way back to the steps.
Yeah. Can I make a perception check for a jug or something? Some sort of pottery in this basement?
In the hallway that you're in, go ahead.
I don't see shit.
Okay. As you're running, it's just too dim and dark, and you're running too fast. You don't see anything.
It was in that one, so I don't know if something bad's supposed to
Nope.
happen.
Just don't see. You do not find any piece of pottery. You go blind. Isadora, you are up. You are currently covered in bugs.
Yes. Doesn't Zoot go before me? Oh, he does. He just didn't go anywhere. If I move, will the zombie thing get an attack of opportunity with me on me, even though he's behind the door?
No, they are, for all intents and purposes, they're currently on the other side of a wall. You don't know how long that wall's going to be there, but they are in another room.
Cool. In that case, I will use my action to disengage from the bugs and take off this way. Okay. I'm push in front of her, I guess. Nah, I'm gonna stay behind her.
Okay.
I won't use my whole movement, and sorry, I'm moving her just so I can get the screen right, because mine's very finicky. Fuck. And that's it. That will be my turn.
Okay, so you sort of brush the bugs off of your legs, use your parasol to swing at them and get them off of you, and you haul ass.
Yes.
Seeing you leave, and seeing sort of the only warm body currently in the room, the swarm sort of shifts as one, and Zoot, they are going to begin to crawl up your legs. That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah. Come on, bugs. I've dealt with worse.
That is 12 piercing damage.
Good God! What? Fine, I'm up. I'm still up.
I can help you out next turn.
Good God.
You are covered in centipedes, just up both of your legs, starting to get up your torso.
Thanks, bugs.
Behind the table, you hear pounding. You see the table begin to splinter, and you see a ghoulish hand sort of reach straight through and begin to claw through. They're not through yet, but they are. Not only a hand, but you actually start to see the beginning of a head. But still not through. It is your turn, Zoot.
First, let's get this table so I can get this stupid smite off my axe. Great, that's a 15 plus 5 is an unnatural 20. I am going to, once again, I'm going to go for the table right next to where his stupid head has burst through. Let's start the fire there, why don't we?
Yeah, so you see the table burst into flames, and let's see. They need to. Alright, so they're.
If you're curious,
1d6 fire damage?
It is. So they make a Constitution
That's
saving
right.
throw. Now this is so the Constitution saving throw and the fire damage is for people. I don't. So it's a little weird because I do start a fire.
Mhm.
I don't know what the rules are for that fire versus the fire that I start. So for instance, if I were just attacking a zombie instead of a table, I attack the zombie's on fire.
Correct.
He makes the save. If I'm doing the table, I don't know if that follows like normal fire rules or if they're stepping into the fire,
Well,
that follows the series
it's
might rolls.
fire damage, not radiant damage. So I'm gonna say that it's because they're adjacent to that table, and basically they're not only adjacent, they're basically occupying the same space because it's half through it.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I'll
take.
take
It is going to fail that con save. I'm assuming a 6 fails.
Yes.
Um,
So it is going to take 1d6 fire damage, and it is on fire. It has to use an action to put out its flames,
Okay.
or if some other effect like water douses the flames. But otherwise, if they don't pat themselves out or put themselves in water, they are on fire. They take 1d6 damage for as long as they're on fire.
Okay. Can you roll me that 1d6?
Yes, I can. So starting with the first guy there, that's going to be 6 damage.
Nice. All right.
Critical 6.
It's on that guy. Okay, and that's the one that got hit before. So that's 8. All right.
Great. So now that they have a fire to deal
yes.
with, I'm going to use my bonus action. No. I'm going to just... God, I hate this. Well, okay, so what I can do, at least, is... I can move myself around the bugs. So I can get to at least... It's not letting me move. There we go. I can get to at least there without provoking. I am going... Nah, okay, that's all I got. No! Oh, wait, hold on. Is it not all I got? Because is this a bonus action? It is! As a bonus action, I am going to grab my bone die of the 2 bone dice that we were using to communicate before. I'm going to squeeze it in my paw until it becomes bone dust. And then I am going to sprinkle the dust on the bugs in front of me, and that is a hex.
Nice.
So that the creature is cursed, and for the next hour, I deal extra 1d6 damage to it whenever I attack the bugs. And also, the bugs have disadvantage on any checks of a certain ability. What ability are we thinking, guys? What ability do we want to get disadvantage on these bugs?
I could take a Constitution disadvantage.
Then Constitution disadvantage.
Okay.
And I am not going to move, so I don't provoke. I'll stay right there.
All right. Willa, you're up.
So it appears we're not leaving.
We're working on it.
Okay. So if I can, am I allowed to move through your space and like wiggle past you, Isadora?
Yes.
Yeah, I won't stop you.
I'm gonna wiggle past you, and then I am going to reach a hand out to your shoulder, Zoot, and I am going to sing, what am I gonna sing? Be brave to you. And I am going to cast heroism on you. So that means that you will, a willing creature with that you touch becomes imbued with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to your spell casting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns.
Ooh.
So
Later.
So what's your
Mine-
modifier?
it's a +5.
+5.
I will take 5 temp HP.
And then, as a bonus action, I am going to, instead of sing it, I think I get 3 bardic inspiration die. Yeah, I'm
For long
going
rest, yep.
to whisper "Fear me" into your other ear, and then you'll get a bardic inspiration as well.
All right. D6, right?
Yep, D6. And then since I still have movement left, I'm going to back up as far as my movement will allow.
Okay. Winnie.
I'm gonna probably. Sorry, I keep double clicking. It brings up my character sheet. I will go 5, 10. And then I will say duck. I will yell duck down the hallway and prepare my action for when everyone actually does duck. And I will fire from my crossbow.
Okay. And what are you firing at? What are you taking aim at?
Just straight down the line. Whatever. As soon as I see a clear shot that's not gonna hit anybody, straight down the line, whatever it hits.
Okay. Isadora, you hear duck screamed behind you.
I will crouch down, reach out, touch Zoots on the back of his head, and say mend in Elvish, and cast Cure Wounds on him, which is 1d8 plus 3. So Zoot, you heal. Hey, that's a nat 8. You heal 11 points.
Heal that tank. Heal that tank.
Hell yeah. And then I'm going to crawl. And 15, 20, 25. I'll go this way.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna make it another turn.
Should I have done that? I can do that at half speed if you want.
I was gonna say, yeah. If you're crawling, go half. But yeah, you're still in the hallway, but you're crawling, so you're below.
I keep forgetting my movement speed is 40, not 30.
You are fast. Swift.
I'm a speedy girl.
You swift.
10, 15, 20.
Okay, the swarm is going to reach up and attack Zoot with
Alright, got my shield.
with a 9 to hit.
I was so ready! I was so healed and ready to hurt.
So the bugs are going to crawl up the front of your shield, but not be able to get through the shield and the armor in order to bite you.
Trying to shake him off.
You see the ghoul, that first ghoul, stumbles back through the door or through the table, and all you can see, you just hear these screams behind this splintered table. The table is engulfed in flames. You see through these openings and through the flames, these ghouls are writhing in that hallway as they begin to retreat and then pass out of sight from your view. Zoot, what are you doing?
Oh, I am running on way too much adrenaline right here to let it die. So I am going to take my massive halberd. I'm gonna raise it in the air, and with the energy and the life force of Isadora and Willa all still ringing around in my head, I am just going to scream as loud as I possibly can. And I am going to bring that halberd down basically on the ground through the bugs as deep into the ground as I can. And that's going to be Zoot's first divine smite.
Nice.
Woo!
And so first I'm going to make the attack roll, and I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration die on that attack roll to ensure it hits. So it is, with an extra d6. That is, so it was a 24 without the d6. With the d6, it becomes a grand total of 27. And then damage-wise on the swarm, that's going to be 1d10 plus 3, plus my 1d6 hex, plus 2d8. So that's going to be 1d10 plus 2d8 plus 1d6 plus 3, plus... yes, that's the grand total.
Is it... Oh, yep, it is. Okay, yep, 2d8. Yeah, give me the total.
Grand total. Is 18 total. I rolled semi-lowish, but 18 total.
All right,
That's a mixture of radiant and necrotic and slashing damage.
What?
That is necrotic and radiant at the same time.
And what does your divine smite look like as it sort of, you see it sort of hit the ground and then expand out to the edges of this swarm? What does it look like?
I like to think that I raise the halberd in the air, and as it's over my head, spectral wings and a tail emerge from the head of the halberd, resembling a form that I so dearly miss. And that is what empowers the strike to fly and dive bomb into the ground. And then a mixture of yellows and purples and whites just sort of ripple out like an earthquake around the bugs.
You sort of see this explosion of insects, and the writhing mass goes still. And they are no longer... For now... You hear the faint noise of the ghouls behind the doorway, or behind the table, through the hallway, but they're far in the distance at this point. Everybody make a perception check for me.
A 13.
16.
9.
7.
You can hear the faint, and I'm talking faint. Willa, you're unable to pick this up. You hear chanting through the sort of hum and scream of ghouls running through distant tunnels. You can't make out at all what this chanted voice or voices is saying, and can't get a read on how many, if it's one person, one voice, or 1,000 voices. But it is distinct and it is constant.
So, the door is locked. There is at least one child and or monster down here. Plus a lot of zombies. This is excellent. If no one minds, perhaps we could pause for half an hour or so. I would be much more used to everyone if I was able to gather my breath for a few moments.
We need to find a safe place to do that, though.
You're not wrong. I don't know where counts as safe in this house. There were several bedrooms in the next room over. Perhaps we can just shut one of the doors and remain quiet.
Which way did you say the bedrooms were?
Up above you this way.
I'm going to make sure Zoot is okay and follow after him. Kind of leading up the back.
Zoot's definitely, after that, whatever just happened, he has gone pretty quiet.
Yeah, Isadora.
I won't say anything to bother him.
Okay, Isadora and Winnie, this first chamber that you enter, you see the table with 4 chairs. And these, I wouldn't even really call them beds. They're basically just wooden pallets covered in mold and decay. But they're clearly, they were meant for sleeping at some point.
Perhaps I will simply sit at the table then.
I know.
This is a rather expensive dress. I don't particularly want to get it moldy.
I was gonna say we could always use the table to block off one of the entrances.
Oh, absolutely. A wise thought, as always.
Sure you don't
Does
wanna sit
anybody
on
need
it?
healing? If we
You wanna
are
sit on it
pausing,
before we
you
go
know,
to
if
bed?
anybody had explained the plan to me instead of just yelling rude insults in my face, perhaps I would have been able to cooperate a bit better. But when one leaves a plan to an imagination and instead chooses to yell rude insults in another person's face, you never know what might happen as a result.
I'm going to look at Zoot and see if he'll help me move the table. And I'll just kind of like point to it and then like gesture to the...
I'll move it.
Okay.
Zoot, darling, how are you feeling? I may be able to help you.
Do you still have that thing I gave you? A little die, little game die.
Yes, of course.
Here, give it back.
Oh, I can't really help you, actually. Never mind. I give you the die back.
You'll see Zoot just takes the die back and immediately crushes it in his hand and throws it off aside.
How are you feeling, dear?
I'm feeling like I'm a little violated. I feel like a lot of wizard magic has been channeled through me when I didn't ask for it. And it did things to me. Things that I don't like or understand.
Whose magic? Are you talking about mine? Because I can refrain from that, but I promise it's not wizard magic.
I'll shoot glances across the table at Willa as well, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly Willa.
I avert your gaze.
Look, I do one thing good. I smash, I destroy, I crush my enemies. I don't do that. Whatever that was. Okay, it was a mockery.
Do you mean
Okay.
the fire you did at the end?
No. My own axe mocked me. Whatever wizard magic you pulled through me, it conjured wings. Wings that I don't have anymore. Wings that I'll never get back.
And you think that I did that?
Well, I've never done anything in my life until your strange, witchy words were whispered in my ear.
Maybe you're more powerful than you think.
And darling, you're very good at smashing. So, if Will and I can pick you up and have you keep smashing, it may keep all of us alive for a little bit longer. I will not cast any spells on you without your permission, but it might be rather difficult for me, at least, to help you and keep you standing without some of the wizard magic, as you call it.
Zoot's not going to respond. He is too busy digging through his own little satchel, and he's going to pull out that magic kebab and he's going to toss it across the table at Winter.
I'll walk over to him and just pull a regular old ration out of my bag and hand it to him, and then go back to my seat.
Thanks.
Of course, dear. I don't always like what I can do either. It's not always good or kind or pleasant. But we do what we must to survive.
Let's just rest up and get out of here.
I am going to go to the opposite side of the room, like as far away from him as possible. And I am going to work on using my last spell slot.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. So I am going to work on doing guiding hand, using guiding hand.
Mm-hmm.
And my destination is going to be home. But while
Okay.
I'm doing that, I'm just like crying very dramatically, sniffling and like humming a song.
The hand is, it sort of appears in front of you, and rather than this sort of spectral, it's an incorporeal form, but it seems like there are sort of bits and pieces of cobweb and spider silk sort of hanging off of this hand as it sort of floats in front of you and just spins, slowly rotating in a circle. It
I'm
clearly
gonna pick up my bag and I'm gonna start trying to fight it, and I'm just like yelling. I'm just gonna swipe at it and just like beat at it.
Yeah, it dissipates. Clearly, whatever you were trying to guide yourself to is not accessible to you at the moment.
So if that's the case, Tyler, would I then know that we're not on the same plane as my house?
Give me
If I know the spell doesn't work.
give me an Arcana check with advantage
Alright.
because of your Professor Rayburn course on interplanar inquiry.
19.
Yeah, you would recognize that there are only a few reasons why spells of that sort that are dependent on sort of a location or an object that is somewhere else in the realm wouldn't be able to work or find it. And you know that the sort of one of the possible reasons is that you are in a different plane currently.
May I roll my hit die? Will this count as a short rest?
Yeah, why don't you all, if you want, you can roll some hit die.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, it's not. Because we also have Song of Rest, so once I calm down, I'm gonna just kind of sulk in the corner and just sing a sad song.
What does that mean? What does Song of Rest mean?
You get an extra, isn't it, 1d6 if you use hit die?
Currently, you are 1d6, yes.
That would be lit because I'm currently at 3 points healed.
Yep.
Thank you. That put me back at max, by the way, Liana. Thank you.
How much do we get back?
Wizard magic, though. You sure you want it?
Don't look at me. Don't look at James.
You take that. You take it.
Tyler, while this is happening,
Mhm.
I have a question to James. The kebab you threw at me, that wasn't the actual gift I gave you, though. Do you throw the gift at me or just the product of the gift?
Probably just the product of the gift, because that's as much as I'm going to comprehend the magic.
Okay.
Sorry, Leanna, how many do I get back from that extra 1d6?
So since you rolled one of your hit die,
Yeah.
you get an additional 1d6 on top of that.
Oh,
to add
I
to your
rolled
roll.
a 1d6. Awesome, thank you.
Tyler,
Yeah.
Lit, thank
do
you.
you
I'm
want me
back
to roll
up to
now?
4.
Yes. Roll for sleight of hand.
Do 20 go? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's an unnatural 20.
Hey, Isadora, can you roll a perception check for me?
I have a lot of very important things in my bag, and I'm gonna be real upset. That was a 12. My perception is +3, so that is a 15.
Okay. You don't notice anything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, and I'll go over to Willa and hey, and I'll just give you a hug. Liana, I'll give your characters a hug.
I'll accept your hug. But I'll be like, kind of just like open my arms and just like gather you in.
If they're having a moment, actually that made me think of it, but in character, whatever. I would pull out of my bag a very small, very worn stuffed sheep, and go over and sit a few feet away from Zoot, but like nearby. And you don't seem like the type for stuffed animals, but this has always helped me with nightmares or when I feel bad about anything. So if you'd like to hold her for a few minutes, her name is Clouds, and she's a very good friend. And I'll hold out the very worn stuffed sheep.
Hello, Clouds.
I'll take it. I'll hold it up and I'll examine it. I'll say,
In my clan, children are also afraid of battle for many years when they are young. We had a tradition we would take young ankegs and stuff them like this. Ankegs, you know, have potent natural weapons. And the young could use their stuffed friends in the heart of battle to fight their enemies. It was quite adorable.
Well, I would appreciate if you don't use her in real battle, but she's always made me feel very fierce in the middle of the night when I woke up crying.
Thank you. I will hold on to Clouds.
You're welcome.
I'm going to turn to my sister and I'm going to say, do you know how sometimes I get lost and I always find my way back home?
Mhm.
I just tried that and it didn't work. When we were in class, I learned that if it doesn't work, then we're not where we're supposed to be. We're not in the right place.
It'll be okay. Because, you know, we just have to find a way out of here.
That was our way out,
It's not the only
but it
way.
doesn't work.
It is not the only way. And you know that. Yeah, we are not sure where we are. But that's not the only way.
Tyler,
There's-
do I still have the key?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm gonna like hold on to it and like squeeze it. You can keep talking, I'm sorry.
There's several ways to make it work. Your way, just so happened that it didn't work this time, but it's not the only way. We'll find a way out of here, and it'll
Winnie,
be-
I'm tapped out. I can't do anything else. I'm tired.
But and Tyler,
Mhm.
Liana, is your you play the what, the lyre,
I play the what?
the lyre, the lyre, I forget how it's pronounced.
I play the lute.
The lute.
But I didn't get one. I got like a lute-like object, but none of my instruments are with me.
The lute-like object is with you.
Yeah, I have the lute-like object.
So, if you let me, I'll take the lute-like object. And hey, Tyler,
Mhm.
can I tinker it a little bit?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Is there any way I could turn it into a better, instead of a lute-like object, can I turn it into a lute? I have some leather straps I got from before, and I don't know. Is there a way I can turn this into something craft-wise? Otherwise, I'll do my my magical tinkering.
I'd say this would take some magic to
Okay. Yeah.
to accomplish something like that.
I'll just do the magical tinkering to it, and I will record on a nice mezzo piano volume level. We're not just the song we all sang about following the foggy road, and I'll turn around and I'll try to impersonate my sister playing this lute-like object, and in an effort to raise her spirits. And Liana, it is clear I do not know how to hold this thing. I'm holding it like the wrong way. I got the fat end by the hand, and I'm
Oh,
coming
no.
the other side.
But yet, the song is coming out perfect, crystal clear.
I'm going to laugh, and then I'll like climb up, and I'm just gonna like rotate it the correct way.
Oh.
And then I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna give you like a little squeeze, and then I'm gonna go.
Okay. I give it back to you.
So I'm gonna hold this key, Tyler,
Mhm.
and I'm going to start pacing around and monologuing to myself. I'm gonna say, Rose, if you're out there, we really need your help. I'm really scared. Ideally, it'd be nice if we could find somewhere where we could sleep for the night and get some rest because I know we're really tired and we're really hurting. If you can hear me, please help us. We're just trying to get home to our families. I put you to rest. You're supposed to watch Isadora and Zoot did. But if you don't want to be there, we can take you somewhere else. Just, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, please help.
You hear a very faint voice inside your head.
She wasn't out.
And it just says, inside. And it repeats, inside.
So stay inside this room. I'll ask back.
And there's nothing else. And as you the voice sort of fades from the back of your head, you hear coming up the stairs and down the hallway that's sort of directly across the room from you, Willa. You hear a little jingle, and Chair appears at the top of the stairs and sort of trots across the room towards you, and doesn't pay you any attention, and then wanders sort of up the steps next to you back down the hallway.
Okay. I'm gonna follow the dog, and I'm gonna just wave everyone to follow me.
Okay. So he rounds the corner, and you can see him round the corner. And he turns, passing the stairs, turns to the right at the crypt that you know holds the two children. And he just sort of sits in front of Rose's crypt.
Okay. I'm going to give him a nice little scratch behind the ears because he's a good boy. And I'm going to cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna try and touch the crypt, but I'm going to look back at Zoot and shoot him a look.
Okay. So that sort of withered spectral hand appears.
Stop.
Make a strength check for me.
I will try. Whoa. Okay. A 16?
Need any help with that?
So with a 16,
Yeah, I could, maybe.
you are able to sort of move the top of the crypt and sort of slide it sideways.
I'm gonna go pick up the skeleton.
Oh yeah, just make sure
Because
she's
it was
safe.
sitting
Yeah.
on top.
And so
yeah,
the
Oh,
it doesn't
oh,
the slab at the top hasn't fallen. It's just you just sort of rotating it
okay,
so that
then
you
I'll
can
place it back down
see
very gently.
so that you can see the inside of the coffin, and it is empty.
Oh, I'll put her in the coffin.
No,
You sort of lay her in the coffin.
we should go in the coffins. For a long rest, to sleep. I know that sounds crazy, but isn't that what dead people do?
We're not dead.
I know, but if we...
I start
don't know.
moving the lids off the other coffins. I'll start with the one that was Thorns.
Okay, I need strength checks for each of them. So roll me 3, please.
I'll follow along with him with my little mage hand if I can assist him.
Yeah. Do you want to?
If you want to assist, he gets advantage on it.
Great.
Yeah.
So it's either an 11 or 12 for that one.
Yeah, Thorns is clearly has been sealed. Somehow it's just sealed tighter than Rose's was, and it doesn't budge.
Can I try to look at it and unseal it? Like, I don't know.
You want to try to use tools to open it?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check with advantage because you're using tools. Zoot, give me
I'm
a
gonna
strength check
go
for
get started on the other ones.
for
Yeah.
Gustav's and Walter's.
Yeah. So
Actually,
Gustav-
that one this top is already off. Remember, that one was empty.
Oh, okay, great. Then for the bottom one, I got an 18.
And 18, you are able to move the top of Elizabeth's crypt. It too is empty.
Hey, I've slept in worse places.
Winnie, what did you get?
12.
With advantage?
Mm,
Yep. Okay, so yeah, Thorns just isn't budging. So you've got 3 of them open.
How big are they?
I mean, big enough for a human.
Okay.
I suppose we could take turns taking watch, and 3 of us could be asleep at a time. That might not be a bad idea to have one of us be awake
Why
at all
aren't we
times.
just putting the bodies to rest?
No,
I
we're
don't know,
gonna
it's
go.
your
these
sister's
bodies.
idea.
We're gonna rest.
This is...
I know it sounds crazy, but just call it a feeling. I think that we're gonna be fine when we're inside of it.
I'll keep watch. I'm already feeling fine.
I'm gonna climb
I'm
into
at
it.
max, so like there's no real point in me taking a long rest. So if you guys want to
Yeah,
take it,
I
for sure.
can regain my spell slots, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna climb into Rose's.
Okay.
And I'm going to let's see. Toss some of my some ration down to the dog, to Chair.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my mage hand to close the lid a little bit, but just like
All the way?
No, like half.
Okay.
I'm not vampire yet. Come on, man. But just like a little, like scooch it over a little bit.
Okay.
While I'm keeping watch, I don't want to stand in the middle of the hallway where I'm very visible, so I will stand in this little spot, just sort of keeping watch left and right.
Okay. Winnie, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not getting into one of those. So I'll probably watch with Zoot. Maybe look around, see if I can salvage anything from anywhere safely.
Okay. Isadora, you resting?
Yeah, I'll get inside Elizabeth's crypt, coffin.
Are you sure you want that one? That's where the centipedes came from.
Never mind, I will get inside Gustav's.
Okay.
I hold tight to my parasol, and I pull out a pincushion. And I hold on to my pincushion and my parasol as I sleep in this coffin.
Here.
I'll walk over and I'll drop Cloud.
My little hedgehog friend is also good at nightmares. They're best buddies.
You pull out a stuffed hedgehog, your pincushion.
It's a pincushion, but it looks like a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Cloud needs a rest too.
Okay, I will hold on to both of them gladly. I will return her to you after the rest, but I greatly appreciate that, Zoot.
I go back to my post.
I have my hedgehog, my sheep, and my parasol.
Okay. So the two of you are resting. Winnie, you are exploring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every now and again, I'll check back in with Zoot.
Are you going anywhere new or just places that you've seen before?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get a layout of the map of where we are, and I mean I can roll for perception or whatever, check in for traps or.
Give me an investigation check.
Ooh, that's an unnatural 20.
Yeah, so you as you sort of make your way down and through, you go into the room with the table and then you sort of walk down the hall. And you can see the hallway sort of splits. Do you continue straight or do you turn left?
Can I listen to hear anything coming down from the hallway? Because I remember you said there was chanting at some point.
Yeah, the chanting, it's sort of indistinct as to where it's coming from. It has not gotten any louder as you've walked down this hallway.
I'll continue down the hallway. I don't
straight
think
ahead?
I'll turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'll turn.
Okay. So you sort of enter this large chamber, in the center of which is a well. You see that the well has water in it. There's a bucket hanging from the rope and pulley mechanism. And off of this main chamber, there are sort of 5 other smaller chambers. Clearly, these are sleeping quarters. And these seem much more, I mean, for as one could be lavish in this sort of decrepit old basement. These aren't just pallets on the floor. These are straw mattresses, still moldy, sure, but straw mattresses on wooden platforms. And you see that in each of these rooms there is a chest, sort of footlocker, off to the side of the bed.
I'll look in the chests if I can.
Yeah, give me a dexterity check. Just give me a general one.
It's a 15.
Okay, yeah, you're able to sort of go sort of systematically through one by one and pick each of the locks using your thieves' tools.
Do I find anything?
Yeah, you find
Let me get my pencil.
in this first room you see you see this pouch, and sort of drawstring pouch, and as you open it, 11 gold and 60 silver. But as the
11
closer,
gold and 60 silver.
correct, but the closer you look at the pouch, you can tell that it's made of what appears to be human skin. The next room You get a folded piece of black cloth, and in it 2 amber amulets. In this room, there is a black leather eye patch that has a sapphire sort of sewn into it, where the eye would be. This room, ivory hairbrush with silver bristles. And in the final chest, you find a short sword that seems to be covered in silver.
Like it's made out of silver?
Mhm.
And the ivory hairbrush, what was the other detail you said about the ivory
It has
hairbrush?
silver bristles.
It's a lot of silver. Cool. I'll refill my water skin or whatever thing in the well,
Mhm.
and I'll try to write like in my notebook, in my book, basically the path I took. So it's like I'm slowly kind of mapping out the 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 area.
The layout of the
yeah,
basement. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
As I go.
And as you sort of recognize that the steps up, that's the hallway where Chair appeared from. So that connects back to that first room that you were in with the table and chairs.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll just keep like as if they're still sleeping, I'll keep like exploring. If that's okay.
Okay. Do you want to go back to that hallway where you were and turn?
I'll go over here maybe this time.
Yeah.
And I'll before I do, I'll tell Zoot I'm going
Okay.
this way. If I'm not back in like 20 minutes or whatever, maybe you should.
Yeah, so you
Start to-
come into this room.
Why are you going off on your own? That seems stupid and suicidal. You've seen what this dungeon holds.
Zoot, we need a way out.
We'll get a way out. We'll get it when they wake up. I didn't even know you left. Where have you been?
You know what? Look at what I found. And it's the cream chitin kebab you gave me. This is not my choice of food. Did you want this?
No, I don't. I gave it back to you. What are you doing walking around out here? We should be keeping watch and making sure they are getting the rest they need. You should be asleep too.
Look, I'm no use to anybody in that tomb, and there's no way you're gonna make me go in one of those after fricking getting attacked from centipedes coming out of one.
Well, that's why I'm keeping watch. If a centipede shows up, I'll alert the guard.
Well, that's very nice, but how would you alert them if they were already inside?
Is this a riddle? Are we practicing Sphinx games?
No, this is not a riddle.
Oh, then I don't understand.
Okay. I'm gonna go look up here, and I'll be right back. I won't get into any trouble. I just need to get a layout of this place and see if I can be of any use to anyone. You have your halberd. You have your shield. I need something to protect me. And
Here.
I'm going to find it. I can't use that, Zoot. I'm not like you.
Okay. If you don't want it, I'll keep my giant shield.
Just to humor him,
Mhm.
I'll show him I can't even lift it.
Okay. Yeah. Similar to when you tried to grab your advisor's hammer and drag it across campus. You can't even lift the shield off the ground yet.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
If you go, I will wake up the others, and we will come with you.
No, they need their rest. I'm just looking around. I'm not.
And if
hurting
you
them.
die, do you think they want to wake up and hear that because they got their rest, they lost you over it? You want your sister to feel like she got a night's sleep, and in return, she lost you? I don't think that's the choice she would make. So if you run off, I'm waking her up.
When did you get this wise?
When did I get wise? When did I start saying we need to stick together?
Fine. I will stay.
Do
Okay.
feel free to sneak away from me, though. You already.
I will. I was waiting. I was waiting for you to turn your back. I was waiting for you to turn your back, and I was like, Tyler, I roll for stealth.
Okay, go ahead. Roll for stealth.
It's a 19.
Zoot, give me a perception check.
I probably am not going to notice. Let's see. 1d20 plus perception. I think I only have 1. Yes. I got a. Oh wait, there it is. Hold on. I wanted to do that so I could pull it up. I got a 20. I got a natural 20 plus 1.
So, yeah, Winnie, he's got his back turned, and you try to sneak away. Zoot, not to say
I don't say anything. I'm gonna let her sneak away.
Okay. Yep. You notice. You just. Okay. So Winnie, you going back up the hallway to that chamber? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you make your way up there. There's.
As soon as Winnie turns the corner, I wake up the others.
Yep. There it is.
Lord. Here's Clouds. She missed you.
Thanks.
Winnie, you see.
I cannot keep the child from running off, so I need someone to do something about this.
The small one is gone?
Yeah, well, not
Wyoming is
gone. She's up the hallway. I told her not to go. She said, I'm gonna go. I said, you're gonna die. Have you seen what's in this dungeon? She said, so what? And I said, I'm waking up your family. We need an intervention. So,
Washington,
wakey
please
wakey!
take care of your sister.
With a groan, my little, the top half, it'll come, open,
Yep.
and I'm just gonna lift up. I'm gonna wipe with my eyes, and I'm just gonna say in the scariest voice, almost as scary as Zoot's roar, very much like Batman, early 2000s Christian Bale. Where is she? But like him.
But like him, yep.
So where is she?
Just like that.
Oh,
yes.
I mean, I'm more than happy to walk up the hallway and guide you guys to Winter. I watched her turn the corner when Now I can't promise where she is after that. I just saw her turn that corner.
Did we get along any resting? Did we get? Are you? Oh,
You got-
hell no.
Kill Winter.
If you wanted to roll hit die, I would consider that a short rest. Another one.
I rolled hit die back in the fucking.
So yeah,
I don't need that. I am going to stomp around the corner. I'm going to climb out. I'm going to stomp around the corner. Where is she? Do I see her? Is she around here? I can't move in Foundry right now. I'm not sure why, which is why I've been stuck here. I'm
Oh.
like stuck where I am.
Make sure you're clicking your token. I couldn't move earlier because I was trying to move Willa's token instead of my own.
Yeah,
No, I
I'm
think it's a wall
trying.
thing. I think she's stuck behind a wall somehow.
Oh,
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Did I put you on a place where you're behind a wall? Try it now.
I have clouds again, right?
Okay. So I'm on the hunt for her.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm gonna Zoot, which way did she go?
A point.
Up. Yeah.
Up this way?
Mhm.
Okay.
So
When
you
I find her there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you turn that corner and she's just standing there. Winnie, all that's in there are two sort of stone platforms without coffins on top of them. So it seems like this is a space that's being prepared perhaps to accept sort of future family members. But no names. Rooms are empty other than those two sort of stone platforms.
Sure.
And Big Sis rounds
I-
the corner.
I mark it in my notebook.
I rolled a stealth.
Okay, give me a stealth check. Winnie, give me a perception check.
It's a 21.
16.
Okay, yeah. Willa, you are hidden from her.
I want to note. Sorry, I just wanted to
Yeah.
note that. Yes, I've woken up the rest of the family, but I still don't want the group to split. So I will also be, hopefully, taking Isadora and trailing Willa.
Yeah.
But obviously, Willa is trying to sneak and ambush her sister. So I get that. I'll keep a distance, but still keeping the team together.
Okay.
same.
Okay.
I am going to come up behind her as quiet as possible. And I am going to poke her in the back with a crowbar.
You have a crowbar?
I have a crowbar.
Okay. Yep. You poke her in the back.
Holy!
You're dead. Do you think this is funny? Walking off? Doing stuff like this alone?
I was being careful.
No, you weren't. Careful is staying in the place where you're supposed to be with the person you're supposed to be with. I can't do anything when I'm in a sarcophagus, half asleep. If you want me to be useful and protect everyone else, I need you to stick with us and not go running away. You could die.
The only thing I am good at is gathering information. I'm no good to you or the party in those tombs.
You can't take a nap? You can't stay in the general vicinity while you gather
How
information?
old do you think I am?
Old enough to follow the rules, Winnie.
You don't follow the rules.
I follow them when I need to follow them, and I'm older than you by like a lot, okay? And sometimes I have to make decisions that may seem rash in the moment, but they're necessary. I'm just asking you to stay where you're close because things could happen. Like a bug monster could come out and attack you.
Yeah, and you know what? That happened when you were right next to me.
No, it wasn't. I was in the other room.
I was right with the party when that happened. We were just checking stuff out.
Fact check. Were we in a different room? No, for real.
I mean,
I thought
she
we were in a
had.
different room.
You were in the hallway. You each sort of took a crypt, so she was around the corner. You were all in the
Okay.
same area, though.
Well, I'm gonna stand there with my hands on my hips. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna argue with you about.
That's just your excuse because I had a good point.
No, it's not. Okay.
Yes,
it's not
it
my
is.
fault it's not my fault that you are maybe more intelligent than I am, but I'm more streetwise, and I've seen a lot of shit. Okay, and we have to stick together. If I don't get some rest, Winnie, I'm not going to be able to protect you. So I need you to listen to me, and please, if there's some sort of tinkering or something you can do in our general vicinity that doesn't involve you leaving.
Can't do anything with nothing. Not even the best artificers can make something from nothing. I need find a way to be.
Can't you like sleep? Don't you need a nap? You look sleepy.
What am I, 5? I'm fine. I don't need a nap. If anybody needs a rest, it's you.
Fine. If you're gonna tinker in here and go exploring, is there another crypt in there?
They're just platforms.
I'm gonna walk over the platform, I'm gonna lay the F down, and I'm just gonna lay there and I'm gonna close my eyes and sleep like this. I'm just gonna lay on the platform.
Okay.
That can't be comfortable.
Shh.
That's gotta be horrible for your back.
You know what? You can do all the searching you want, but if you keep talking, I swear I'm gonna take that tongue out of your mouth and send it home to Dad.
You can't threaten me like that. Dad won't approve of it.
I don't care, he's not here and I'm in charge. And he told me to look after you, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going back to my...
Winnie, what are you gonna stay there? Are you gonna wander?
I'm gonna throw my hands up and be like, fine. I will stay in the general vicinity. But if I'm being completely honest, this seems rigged. And I just, Also, I really think you should just put the bodies in the crypts. Like, it's just out of
I'm just gonna get up and I'm just gonna walk out of the room. We're not getting any sleep today, guys. Might as well keep exploring.
I said I'd stay. I'm just saying you should put the children at least in there.
I'm gonna put them in there after I'm done. Rose wanted me to use her resting place to sleep because she said it was safe. That's why I was sleeping there. What? She what?
You've spoken with her?
It was like a feeling, like a vibe, like I asked her, and like I heard like a voice, but I don't think anyone else heard it because you guys have really bad hearing.
Still.
I think what? No, it's fine. She was just talking to me. Why are you asking me so many questions?
Why are you deflecting?
I'm not deflecting. I'm just saying that
You're twirling your hair, which is always what you do when you try to deflect the conversation.
that's not true.
And you're not making eye contact with me.
Hey, how about we argue and move, because I am getting anxious standing here and waiting for the zombies to reach us first.
Fine.
Please, feel free to argue. But let's at least get out of here.
I can't argue. It's gonna be too loud. I can't say everything that I want to say. But you bet your ass, when we're out of this house, I wrote a song.
All right, where are we going? If we're moving, what are we
Let's
doing?
put the bodies in the crypts, please. If we're not taking a nap in there, I'm gonna go put Rose's body in and close it up.
Yeah. Is the
Then-
dog still with us?
I'll help anything that needs to be moved. So
The
I'll
dog
move
is
side tops.
the dog is still sleeping at the foot of Rose's coffin.
I'm gonna follow in there. Can I like touch the dog? Is the dog really alive? Can I roll
yeah.
to investigate the dog to make
Oh.
sure that he's actually alive and not a ghost?
You don't need to invest. The dog is a
Okay, great.
flesh and blood dog. It is.
He's
Okay.
ours now.
Yeah. Can I rub him a little
Mhm.
and kind of coax him awake?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name you Chair. But I haven't thought of your name yet, but I'll get back to you. But if you want to come with us, you can, but I just want you to know that, like, you could die, and I don't know if you know what that means, but I don't want you to die. So maybe if you know how to run away when things get scary, that will be helpful to you. And then I'll kind of like stand up and just kind of like gesture and do a little whistle.
Trots over. Do you put the bodies in the crypts? Close them. Okay. So the children's bodies are back in their coffins, or in their coffins for the first time. You don't know. Yeah, nothing happens when you put them in, but it seems like it was a nice thing to do. Where are you
I
heading?
hate to say it because, you know, zombies, but did we need to go that way? Where the zombies are?
No,
No.
we can go this way, off to the side here. It's not in the direction of the zombies. I don't know where it leads though.
Which side?
If you come back and join me at the table room, or I guess the table is now just ashes,
Mhm.
the left side chamber. I don't think we've gone this way
Yeah,
yet.
we haven't. Seems like a good call.
I'm coming.
I would like to move at half speed and try to stay alert.
Well, so Winnie has gone that way.
Oh,
Have you? Have you, Winnie? Well,
Who told you that?
I guess I'm going this way.
I'm following. I'll stay with you, Zoot. I know you don't want to split.
So Zoot and Isadora, you
Oh.
come upon a chamber. There is a well in the middle of the room. There are 5 sort of rooms off of that chamber, with straw mattresses on wooden beds. Each room has a chest that has been sort of, the lock has been broken or opened, and the chests lie sort of lid up open in each one.
I will refill my water skin at this well
Mhm.
that I see.
It looks like there's a rope. Is there a rope dangling down into it?
There's a
If
rope
so, I
and-
try to pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bucket. It's a well. So in order to refill the water skin, Zoot would run the bucket down with the rope and pulley and then bring it back up.
See, I imagine the water being high, and we just like, okay.
Nope. It's about
Cool, cool.
it's about 30 feet down. You could see.
I'll yell out the hallway as the sisters are lagging behind. I'll say,
It looks like there's fresh water here. If you want to resupply.
I will go towards the voice and make sure Winnie's following. And the puppy.
Right.
What's in here?
let's
Well,
describe it again.
Well,
What's in
That-
here?
5 rooms, straw
second
mattresses on
time.
beds, chests that have been
connects to
opened.
connects to table room up there.
Yes, connects back to, you'll notice this is where chair sort of appeared from when you heard Rose's voice inside your head saying inside.
I just took the long way around, so I'm gonna follow her, but I'm gonna go like
Let's
and then go.
Zoot, if you've got your water, let's go down this way. We haven't been down this way yet.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
I'll
this
lead the
way.
way.
That's
Maybe
gonna be
not this
zombie
way.
land.
Maybe
Zombie
not
land
this
ahead.
way. I don't think
Zombie
that way
land
is a good
ahead.
way. That's not a good way, Lady Isadora.
It's not. I've changed my mind. Not
Why don't
this
we
way.
go this way?
Sounds good to me. I mean, I'm better off. I'm ready to face some zombies again, but let's explore everything else first. Make sure there's nothing
Is that a
else.
way? That just looks
I
like it's
think
one
that's
square.
it.
It looks like there's a ladder there.
I
Is
think
there?
the only way to go is
Oh wait, no,
zombie
that's a
land.
wall. Oh,
All right, well then we need to
Line up.
You need to
Get
go
behind
zombie
me.
land.
Tyler,
Mhm.
what are the rules about trying to open Thorn's casket one more time before we leave to try and put him in the thing?
Go
He's
ahead.
in there. We put him in there.
They were able to open the lid and
Oh,
put him in.
okay. I wasn't. I just remember we couldn't get it open the first time.
Yeah. No, they were able to do it second time.
All right.
I did not recover any spell slots, but I did recover my channel divinity, so that should be helpful. And
Then
we're
in
all
that
back to full,
case,
so I think we're as good to go as we're gonna be.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna go one square at a time, and I'm gonna be moving at like quarter speed because I don't want to get ambushed again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Big room with bodies on walls. What do we see, Tyler?
So Zoot, as you get
I didn't like turning that
to the it's in the the dynamic lighting is tricky. Big room. Okay.
What do I say?
So the room is festooned with these moldy
Festooned! I love that
skeletons hanging from rusty shackles along the walls. And on the wall, sort of that you can see, Zoot, you see this alcove with a painted wooden statue carved in the likeness of a gaunt, pale-faced man wearing a voluminous black cloak. His pale left hand rests on the head of a wolf that stands next to him. And in his right hand, outstretched, he holds a smoky gray crystal orb.
I will turn back and say to Winter, "Hey, Winter, come take a look at this. I think we could use someone to gather some information about this room.
Okay.
Just stay close."
Okay.
And I have no problem bringing the group in, mostly Winter, since Winter seems to want to prod around anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving down just the screen for myself,
Yeah.
Tyler. I'm not going rogue. Oh, I can't really. Ugh.
Am I
There we go.
making a check on the orb?
Absolutely not. I leave this place. I go home. I go back to my father's bakery, far away, and I never come back to this Twitch channel.
The ladder! Everybody, follow me to the ladder!
Get
So-
a freaking ladder!
You just hear the... you climb up the ladder, Zoot?
Well, I saw a ladder. I heard voices. My impulse was get out of here. So, yes,
so-
I'm going towards the ladder.
You go up to the staircase and you hit a landing that has about a 6-foot high ladder, and as you climb it, you realize that you can push the ceiling up.
Huh.
And if you, it's a sort of it hinges open, and you find yourself back in the first floor room with the wolves.
With the wolves.
Stuffed
The wolves, the coat
wolves.
of arms.
I don't remember stuffed wolves in the first room.
I also don't
Tyler, could I make that Arcana check on the orb thingy?
Sure, go ahead.
Recover. My. Oh, there it is. It's a 14. Arcana.
I like that at no point in this dungeon we stumbled upon a group of bedrolls just laying on the ground.
Oh shit! Yeah, we did throw our bedrolls down here.
Which
Dumb
means
waiter
that
doesn't go to the
that dumb waiter
basement.
does not leave the bed. God knows where we dropped our bedrolls.
I'm so mad.
We had to sleep in a tomb.
The orb doesn't, you don't recognize anything sort of particularly special. You can't glean really any information out
Does
of
it have any? Do I sense any like magical properties, or is it mundane?
You recognize that as you approach it, you hear this phrase. You hear that
What language is
get
that?
louder and louder.
I'm going to go
Is
push
there-
and stand in front of Winter, the child.
I'm just. Is there?
I'm just gonna go stand in front of her.
Okay. It talks to you, I think, if you stare long enough at it.
All right. I will stare deeply into the orb.
Okay.
He is the ancient. He is the hand. He is the ancient. He is the hand. Maybe somebody should check me on that.
That's better than what I could. That's
Anybody else want to stare? I can stare again. I don't mind. All right, I'll stare again, Tyler. I'm pretty sure it's he is the ancient, he is the hand.
Roll me a perception check. Let's do it this way.
So that Tyler can tell you how wrong you are.
Tyler is gonna be really disappointed about this. That was a full 8.
He is the ancient, he is the hand.
He is the ancient, he is the hand.
I'm going to come over. And I'll
sorry,
give it a look.
Tyler.
He is the dad.
You don't. Okay.
Gotta play it every time.
He is the head.
Roll a perception check.
I
Well,
was like, please.
Look, I got some pretty nice headphones, and I'm still struggling.
18.
18. You hear it say, he is ancient, he is the land.
Oh.
He is ancient. He is the land. I
He's the
reiterate that.
band.
No, the land. So I don't know who. What is? Have you guys tried touching it?
You touch it.
What?
I'll touch it.
No, we're not touching it. That was a joke. I was tricking you. I was making sure you weren't going to touch it.
petting the wolf.
And
I've reached out. I'm touching the wolf.
Do you guys remember stuffed wolves in the house?
Where are you?
where are you?
This ladder leads to some stuffed wolf room.
I just imagine you like poking your head down.
Zoot, roll me a.
I like to think that I poked my head up through the trapdoor, and then I put the little stuffed lamb up through the opening, and I have it look around, and then I look in after it. And what you want a perception?
Give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
See if you can remember that you saw this room.
That's a 13 total.
Okay, yeah, you know that this is the first floor room directly off of the main hall at the very front of the house. So you remember that you came through the front door into that sort of main room with the staircase, and before you went up the staircase immediately to the right, there was a den, and in that room were taxidermied wolves.
Oh yeah, I went in that one, I think.
Yeah, guys, I don't
Well, didn't
remember a
go
wolf
into it.
room.
That was
Does
when we
anybody else
split up.
remember
That
a
was
wolf
when
Well,
we
room?
split up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think at some point you had a conversation about what each of you had seen.
Yeah, as long as
So-
somebody saw it, we can identify.
I remember there being wolves in the room I went into.
Well,
They-
then this is our way out when we need to get back up.
Okay.
By the way, why are we down here? Isn't the door out of the house up there?
It's locked, dear.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We might have to do something down here. This was where we were supposed to kill the monster. Often
Oh,
all the
We
stories
put the
you have
bodies
to
in
do
the
the
tomb.
thing.
If you want
And we could try. We did put the bodies in.
what I'm
We might
saying,
as well
yeah, that's
try
what
now.
we need.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Am I able to go upstairs and just check the front door, or do I have to run into another swarm of zombies?
Nope, you go and check the front door. It is locked.
Never mind.
All right. Onwards.
We gotta find more bodies.
Okay. We'd
Oh
find
wait, there were
Walter.
two more. There were two more that were empty.
And we did find Gustav's body upstairs. We have to put him where he belongs.
Yeah.
I'll go do that.
But
I'll be right back.
Wait,
Oh,
you know
I'll come
what?
with you.
Wait,
Two and
wait,
two, two and two.
wait. Walter needs to be there too. It's
We
Gustav
haven't found
and Walter.
yet. No, and Elizabeth. We haven't found Elizabeth. Elizabeth is the
What-
mother.
the one in the bedroom that was hanging.
No, that's Gustav is the one in the bedroom. Walter
Who was
is
the one you
baby.
found in the library?
That was the maid. Or the nursemaid. She doesn't have a coffin.
What was their name?
She never told me.
Margaret.
Margaret. I'm so sorry, Margaret. don't remember servants' names very easily.
So I'm
Alright.
gonna go cut down Gustav if
I'll
that's okay.
I'll come with
How
Zoot
about
for an extra pair of hands.
how about the two tanky people? One.
This is a
tanky-
great opportunity for the two of you to settle your differences. When we get back, I want to see some nice big family hugs. We're gonna come back carrying a large dead body, so if you're not hugging, you will be the next large dead body I will carry. We'll go get the body.
Okay. Nothing eventful happens as you make your way through the house. The places that you've already been in the house seem to be far less unsettled than they were the first time you made your way through it.
But do the sisters settle their differences?
When you arrive back downstairs,
That's the question.
that is the question.
I'm leaning against the wall with my arms crossed.
I'm gonna go pee so fast while you all roleplay out your sister differences. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll see that they're not done, so I'll go back up the ladder.
I wonder what's down this way.
I don't know. Why don't you go check out what's down that way? You're gonna do it anyway. Look,
Sure.
I'll close my eyes so you have a head start.
Why are you so mad? Look, I'm sorry. I get that you want to protect me. But you know, I can also protect you. I'm not I have grown up a bit.
I know you've grown up, but that doesn't mean that you get a pass at death. We're literally in like, I don't actually know where we are. I know that we're probably not like where we're supposed to be. This isn't anywhere close to home. You can't wander off and expect things to be okay. This isn't home.
I don't think it's home. But
Then why do you keep wandering away? And I don't know, are you surprised when there are repercussions to your actions? Like when you do get jumped by a giant, insect man?
I fully accepted the fact that I got hit by a giant insect man.
Now, what would have happened if someone would have died because of that?
That's a bit unfair, don't you think? Since we all were checking out the crypts, and I just happened to be the unlucky one to discover that one. It could have easily have been you, Zoot, or Isadora.
No, because they wouldn't have opened it without anyone else there.
I didn't open it.
So they just came out at
Yes,
you, unprovoked?
unprovoked.
And I'm gonna lean against the wall, and I'm gonna like drift down the wall a little bit, like, drop. Why didn't you listen to Zoot? He's like a seasoned veteran. He's been in wars and stuff. He knows what's going on. He told you to stay put and you still left.
He didn't tell me to stay put.
He didn't?
No,
What did he say?
nothing.
Did he tell you that he was gonna wake us up if you left?
Only until later, yeah, maybe. But, I mean...
Did you do that thing that you do in the bakery? When Dad wants you to do something, you kind of sneak away so you can get out of it, and then I'm left standing there like an idiot and I have to do it? You did it, didn't you?
No! I just took a little peek around the corner, that's all. But I came back.
I mean, to be fair, you're pretty far around the corner. You were in like a whole other room, but like it's fine. Look, I only do this because I want you to
know.
stay alive and I want you to stay safe. And
I'm
if
sorry.
you die, Dad's gonna be really mad, and I'm gonna be really mad.
No, and I'm sorry. When you're scared, right? You have your way of dealing with it. This is mine.
Like, do
And
you think
I
maybe we can do, like,
get
a
that
less
it
dangerous
I get that it
way?
puts me in danger, and I'll try to work on it. But this is my coping mechanism. I analyze things. I look for ways out. That's what I do to cope. You write beautiful poems and songs and can conjure things. That's you.
What if you worked on analyzing the people that we're with? That'd be a fun thing. Like, they're local, they're standing there, and like, maybe you can help them.
I mean, I
Like,
kind of already helped them, but
I mean, like, think of you could help them more if you really like looked at them. Like, if you have time to kill, like, why not help Zoot watch things? Or Isadora can teach you how to wear dresses. Like, I don't know. Like, there are things that you can learn from them. And then when everything is fine and we're all ready, then we can explore things. Like Zoot's having you explore things now. Seriously, just don't wander off. You can't wander off.
okay.
And I'll
so-
come downstairs on that note with the body hung over my shoulder.
Okay.
And is it Lady Isadora? If you're coming down to, you'll probably hear
following.
you'll probably
Our
hear the
conversation got real awkward up there. Got real quiet. Sorry.
We started out eavesdropping and ended up in a whole different plane of existence.
Oh wait, I gotta read the chat now. You probably heard that the part that I had already helped you out, and Zoot.
All right, let's put this body back, and then
And then we
keep
just
going
gotta
and
find
see
the
if we
last
can
one.
find Elizabeth's body. Yeah, and hopefully Walter, alive or dead.
Well, there is a part
I mean,
down
hopefully
here
alive.
that we haven't looked at that maybe we should.
Should keep going that way.
I'll lead the way. Oh, table, stay back.
Okay, so as you turn that corner, Zoot, you see a table, sort of two chandeliers hanging in the corners. On the table is a clay jug and two clay glasses. Two high back chairs sit at the table, but otherwise the room is empty.
Oh, we really can't go in there, can we?
Yeah, I keep trying to push past this open doorway, but some force.
It's stopping me.
Some
Oh.
invisible
We all
force.
throw ourselves.
Hang on.
Sorry, Tyler. I
Oh,
love
thank
Foundry.
you. Thank you. Is there anything in the glasses?
No, the glasses are empty.
All right.
All right, I'll step one more step here, and I'll say, all right, be very quiet, very calm. It's another bedroom, like where we found Gustavo or whatever his name was.
Excellent. I think his name was Gerald. Let's keep going.
I'll peer around the corner into the bedroom.
Yeah, so in this room you see a large bed, a very large wood frame bed, clearly a plush feather mattress at one point that has since gone rotten. There's to your immediate right, there is a wardrobe that one of the doors is missing, and inside of it you can see several old robes. In the corner, directly in front of you, you see a crate, and in the crate there are 30 torches and 15 candles sort of ready and prepared. There's a footlocker at the end of the bed, and a large portrait of two figures who you recognize from upstairs. Gustav and Elizabeth hang above the bed.
I would like to look at the footlocker.
Can I take the jug and cups?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to nudge Winter into the bedroom and be like, investigate, do your thing. You want to do it so bad, go.
Okay.
Do you look in the footlocker? You and Isadora?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It pops right open. You see a small box containing 4 vials of reddish liquid.
Take them, take them, take them.
There is a folded cloak
Take the cloak.
that has a faint glimmer to it. A chainmail shirt. A mess kit. A flask of a liquid that if you hold it up to the light looks as if it's almost burning inside of the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
A lantern. A few sets of thieves' tools.
How about any bedrolls?
No bedrolls. But there is the last thing at the bottom of the chest is a book with a yellow leather cover that is tightly bound.
Ooh, I take it.
You're sure that's a chainmail and not breastplate, right, Tyler?
Chain shirt, yes.
God damn it.
Is there anything written?
Do we each want to take one of the potions? The healing potions?
We don't know they're healing. Can I see it first?
Well, I can tell you they look an awful lot like healing potions as someone who spent some time around a lot of healing potions.
I don't have any in my inventory, so I'm happy to take
I
however
also
many
have
you wanna give me.
none in my inventory.
Can I expect
Willa,
that this
you
is
have-
a healing potion?
You have 2 left, correct?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Winnie, roll an Arcana check for me.
How many are total? How many are there?
There are 4.
So we can
Alright.
each take one.
Arcana?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
Yeah, these are healing potions. The 4 potions are healing. The flask that sort of had the liquid in it that looks burned is Alchemist's Fire.
Oh, hell yeah.
What is the one with the burning?
Awesome. That sounds like dangerous, and I love it. Can we throw it at something and catch the whole place on fire?
It's
How
a vial
dramatic.
of, what did you say, Tyler?
A flask of Alchemist's Fire.
Do either of you feel like you can wear armor that I would just say on average has like medium weight?
In the cloak?
Or lightweight? I guess I could trade. I guess you could take my leather undergarments. Which
Give
serve as
me
my armor right now.
Winnie, give me an Arcana check for the cloak specifically.
I don't know if I can wear that.
Do you have leather armor though? Because I can give you my leather armor and I can wear the chain
Yeah.
shirt.
I'm wearing leather.
17.
Great, never mind then.
17.
I have a higher.
You know, based on the sort of artificer training that you've received up to this point, this is a cloak of protection.
I put it on.
Okay, so +1 to AC and saving throws while you have the cloak on.
And it's a nice
Whoa.
weapon. Or a nice armor. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's perfect for someone like you that goes dabbling places where they shouldn't be.
I would not say no to this What color is the cloak, Tyler?
Gold?
Well, Winnie just put it on. It has a faint silver shimmer to it. You've
Nice silver.
She can have it, that's fine.
We can take it later if you really want it.
Can I roll
No,
for
that's okay.
perception?
She does tend to wander off. Let her have it. 2 of us wander off. I can just wander off less. I'll let her be the troublemaker.
The book. There's a book.
Yes, there's a leather-bound book, or I should say a book with a yellow leather cover that is wrapped.
Did anyone
tightly.
grab it? Can I grab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna open that shit.
Okay, roll an Arcana check.
Oh shit. That's not bad.
This could be a spell book. That would be pretty cool.
19.
None of us are wizards.
19. This is
We wouldn't
a
survive if one of us were wizards. You'd
this
kill
is
us
a
by
spell
now.
book. You've seen these all throughout the university when you were there. This one contains. Let's see.
Wizard magic is what you're looking for.
9 spells.
Ah, actually,
And every spell is useless to us.
For
I
now.
have no idea if clerics can actually use spell books.
Is there? Can I use?
Spell
can I
books
use it?
are completely a wizard
That is
thing,
a-
unless the DM
Yeah.
rules otherwise.
They are a wizard
Yeah.
item.
Yeah, none of us.
You want me to
We
hold
can
on to
probably
that?
keep them and sell them.
I can hold
Yeah,
on
I was
to
thinking maybe we can hawk it. If we live.
If we.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it'll help with the fire. Eventually. Yeah. I'll put it away. I'll take it.
Okay.
I think there's only one more place we haven't explored, and that's north and then east and then south.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take it real slow again. Line up behind me.
Okay,
Here
I'm
we
right
go.
behind you, right behind you.
Oh, it's a
Zoot,
U-turn.
undead,
It's a
we
U-turn.
didn't
It's
finish
stairs.
So-
finding Auburn here.
Zoot, as you
Should I back up?
approach, you find yourself
Where is everybody?
Oh, are they stairs down or up?
Basement 2!
descending lower
Down.
into,
Where are you? I've lost you. Oh, there you are. I found you.
and you hear
He comes. I heard death.
Can I roll perception, please, Tyler?
All must
Are they
die.
saying
Almost die. I did.
All
Almost die again.
so a perception check from just
Can
Zoot.
can I roll an initiative roll?
No. No.
Oh, but I am gonna reach out and Zoot, did you like when I made you really speedy
Can-
earlier, or did you not like that?
I'm gonna say no to any magic you're trying to apply to me right now.
All right, I will turn and snoot boop Willow with my speedy initiative.
Thanks.
Give me Zoot, give me a perception check.
I
Absolutely.
hate it here. I don't like this house.
I got a great perception of. Ooh! Oh boy, that's a nat 20.
Yes!
Hey!
So-
There's everything. Look
You
at
you are hearing constantly, he is ancient, he is the land. One must die.
No.
It's better than all.
So
We all agreed earlier in secret that it was gonna be Isadora, right?
Rude.
as you enter
I
this,
gave you my stuffed animal, Zoot.
as
Cloud's back.
that. No. Okay. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm interrupting you.
no,
Go
it's
ahead.
okay. As I was gonna say, as you enter this room, you see that it's pillared in the center, but around the outskirts, in each of these little alcoves, you see items sort of on small altars
Oh my jeez.
in each alcove. The first is a feather, a white shimmering feather. You see a wooden figurine of a black knight bearing a rose on its banner.
Would it be too much to ask you to ping them as you
Oh,
say them?
sure.
So that
Yep.
I can tell which one you're talking about?
So we have an angel feather.
Thank you.
We have a wooden figurine. We have a pile of severed raven talons. There is a small chunk of amber resin.
There are people.
There is a cracked egg. And inside the egg, you note what appears to be the skeletal body of an infant dragon.
A dragon?
You see the severed finger of a hag. A fang from a wolf or dire wolf. A dagger with a rat's skull. A folded cloak made of ghoul's skin. The shrunken, shriveled head of a dwarf. Two gold amulets. A silver-tipped wooden stake.
We'll take that shit.
Let's not touch anything yet.
Oh, yeah.
And a knife with a handle carved from bone.
All right, baby genius. Which one do we take?
Work.
I don't think we should take any of them necessarily yet.
Agree. God, I want to take them all.
I know, me too. This hurts. This is physically painful.
Yes, I agree. Like, my palm is twitching because it, like, just wants to... These are very specific items. Very...
Isadora, do you walk down that hallway?
I'm just standing at the top of it, looking at the water.
So you
right where I
can
am.
you can see that's actually the tunnel slopes down about 20 feet in front of you and ends at this rusted gate portcullis
I see. Okay.
at
I
the
see
end,
portcullis.
and you can see sort of through it and past it there is a chamber filled with water.
Right. Very good. Thank you. I'm back.
Tyler?
Yeah.
Can I make, like, maybe a history check or something in terms of... These are some very specific items, and some of them take a great deal to craft and acquire. Can I recall any knowledge about them or sort of the situation we're in, being in a room with all these items?
Yeah, roll me a check. History.
Am I good at history? I think I am. Yes, it's intelligence! Baby, that's an unnatural 20.
You recognize and remember from both your classes and just sort of general knowledge, especially about interplanar worlds. There are often sects or cults that acquire and hold relics for which they are particularly drawn to or proud of, and that directly correlate to the type of master that they serve.
Huh. I share this knowledge with the group.
We may. So I'm concerned that we've not found those zombies we fought earlier. I'm worried that if we touch anything, they will spring up to guard it or something. Perhaps we should finish. We should continue moving forwards and then swing back and grab things. I cannot believe I'm acting as a voice of reason. Somebody please tell me to just touch something now. I would love to take it all.
I would be the first person to encourage such an act, but we might not want to touch anything. Does someone have, like, detect magic or something?
Yes. I am a watcher. It is what I do. But
See?
I Surely one of you has the power. So that I don't have to.
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Friend?
Then, I mean, why don't we just then keep moving?
We can come back.
Quietly.
I mean, Zoot, you do have your divine sense,
Yeah, that's the power of the Watchers.
but it doesn't burn a spot though.
No. It doesn't cause slaughter or anything. I just don't want to cast any magic. I went too far and I am upset.
Okay.
I didn't like that. My magic made me sad.
Okay.
But if any of you have watching, detecting wizard magic, I mean, I don't think I need to do it. No. Yes.
We can keep moving. We can come back.
I like the keep moving idea.
Tyler, can I just, it looks, based off of what I see, what is this, like, this seems weird to me, like, is there anything in the center of the room?
Nope, it's just
empty space?
it's the sort of tunnel that slopes down that Isadora is in front of, and then the hallway that continues further that you are standing in front of. And just these little alcoves set into the wall
Okay.
holding the items.
Did we all hear that chanting when we came down, or was it only...
No, I heard it.
But we all heard it, like, in-game? It was loud enough for all of us to hear?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna look a little, like, weirded out, I guess. Nervous.
Dude, you want to take the lead again?
Yeah.
Same order?
Yeah. We got another hall.
Alright.
It's all halls. Here we go.
Yeah, so
intersection.
as you turn into that room, Zoot, you see bones.
Moving just to adjust my map, Tyler. I'm not going anywhere.
Yep. And as you sort of peek around that first corner to your left, Zoot, you can see the bottom half of a skeleton sort of laying in that first sort of apse to the side.
I will very carefully take 5 feet step forward and look at the skeleton.
Okay. It is hanging from shackles, sort of above its head. The shackles are completely rusted. At the base of it, you see a sort of leather sack sort of sitting next to it, with a few pieces of parchment sticking out of it. But nothing else in this cell other than that skeleton.
I'll hesitate for a second, making sure we're not about to get ambushed. Once the moment passes, I'll reach down, I'll grab the sack, and I'll just toss it over my shoulder at the first person who can read it.
What language is it?
It's in common.
Oh. I can read common, yes.
Well,
Okay. So you see this letter. 1 second. Sorry, Nell. So in the Discord, Nell, you'll get this letter.
Yes. I have that open. Are we all reading it silently?
yeah.
Are you reading it aloud?
There it is. So it's this most recent one that I just put in there.
I see.
it appears to be some kind of writing.
Let's insufferable. they may have murdered Margaret. I don't know if that's the harlot they're talking about, but it seems like a possibility.
Well, Walter was her pride and joy. Right?
Yes, correct.
And Walter was a bastard son.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the body we want?
What a good point! Oh, I just connected the dots. Very good. You would think
I'm
with
lost.
all the affairs and the goings on in my own household, I would have recognized that more quickly. I have several bastard siblings myself. And the opposite way. Really, I don't know if I have any bastards, actually. I don't know what the opposite term is.
Not a bastard?
Not about not my father's children. We don't talk about it, though. There's no term for that. Is that sexist that there's no term for it?
We don't have time. We should.
Winnie, can you roll me an intelligence check?
Yeah.
Tyler just wants to tell you what the term is.
No, that's not it.
Straight intelligence.
Yep.
17.
Okay. So you recognize that this is Elizabeth, the mother, writing to what appears to be another member of this group
Mm-hmm.
about the situation between her husband Gustav and Margaret, and the sort of progeny of Walter, which the fact that this skeleton is holding the letter would lead a smart person like you to understand that this is the woman who the letter was originally addressed to.
Miss Petrova or something.
Yes.
So let's just take her upstairs and shove her into.
No, she's not
No,
the one who
that's-
goes there.
that's-
Sorry, dear.
The wrong. That's.
What if you just light her on fire?
Well, the thing is, we don't have a way out, so we would die in the fire. So,
I mean, we're not lighting ourselves on fire, just lighting the bones.
All right, stay close. I'm walking.
so
I found another body. That was easy.
So these, the other sort of chambers are similar in size and in their contents. They contain skeletons with shackles sort of held or around their wrists or around their sort of the ankle bone, bolted into the wall, but long rusted. These are prisoners who were long dead.
Is this the body?
I'm gonna investigate the body that I'm in front of right now. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. 18 plus 19, unnatural 20.
Ooh, okay. So as you investigate that body, okay, with an unnatural 20, you notice something weird, not about the body, but about the wall behind the body. And as you sort of investigate further,
I'm
know
gonna be talking my way through this whole thing, by the way.
you
and saying,
you
I know
notice
something's weird with the wall.
you notice sort of the pattern of stone that has been very uniform up to this point changes in a very specific arch pattern, and looks as if there's almost a seam partway through the wall.
Crowbar out.
secret tunnel.
I'm going to try and break through it. Work the seam.
Give me a strength check.
I'm going to say, as I'm doing this, Zoot, I'm gonna need a hand.
Okay, roll with advantage.
Thank God, because that was a 5.
Try again. I'll help you out.
That was a natural 20.
Hey. And with that natural 20, you
I wish like I had a cam.
pop through
Where did she go? She disappeared.
I'm talking
and
my way through the whole thing. I'm
and
saying hello.
make
I'm
your
going-
way into
Making my way into this cool room
the ritual chamber on the opposite
with
side
a ritual chamber
of the wall.
Do-do-do-do-do.
And this is very obviously a ritual chamber because the second you enter, you notice the large altar in the middle of the room with a stone bier. The chanting that
I'm
you've
out.
been hearing stops.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh Lord. Lord, have mercy on all of us.
The stone pillars that support the ceilings show that something happened on one of the edges of the room. 3 of the pillars have collapsed, and you see this dark cove where a breach in the wall has happened, and out of that breach you see thick tendrils of decay and moss sort of wriggling out of this, gripping the walls, climbing forward and reaching up the center of the altar. And these just tendrils of moss and rot and earth. The smell is almost unbearable as you enter this chamber. And on the top of the central altar, you see what was once probably a gleaming white stone, now stained a dark black and red.
That's a sacrifice.
With a small bundle of blankets sitting in the middle.
No!
Oh no!
Oh no! How tall is that altar?
Sorry, the central altar is 5 feet tall.
Oh fuck that! I'm gonna go pick up the fucking bundle of
Ah.
blankets.
No,
Oh, I don't
no,
even care. This baby can possess me. Fuck this.
no, 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 no. Can I?
The second you
Mistakes were made.
the instant that you touch that bundle of cloth, you hear and see a grotesque mass of flesh and moss, as if a body was sort of rended and then refused with tendrils of earth and soot and decay, as it lurches forward off of you and jumps into the ritual water. And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Why, Isadora? Why?
It wasn't me this
Literally,
time.
there is a rule about touching things that don't touch things without.
I was so smart in the other room. We don't touch anything.
You touched the baby.
I did. I touched the baby. I have nieces and nephews. This was sad.
I did not bring my
What
gardening
if they
tools.
did this to my baby? Not I don't have a baby, but my baby, Miles is my baby.
So okay, now that I'm not trying to be ignorant suit, so the baby is the bastard
Of Margaret and Gustav.
of Margaret and Gustav, right? That Elizabeth had sacrificed.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That is so rude.
I mean, it was pretty rude of him to have a baby with another lady, but
Yeah,
also
but what did
far
that
ruder
baby
for her to
do?
sacrifice the baby. Far
Yeah.
ruder.
So we will see. Tune in next Wednesday to see what
Us
happens
die.
with that.
I
You just had to go and touch the bundle of blankets, didn't you?
It's a good thing we all got that long crest.
It's like,
It would be nice,
yeah.
yeah, if I had any of my spell slots back. That would be really cool.
So, with that,
We
thank
just
you
gotta get
everybody for
creative.
watching. Anybody have plugs? The four of you.
Sign up
Yes.
for my game. Join the Quilmar Facebook group if you haven't joined it yet, and then submit if you want to play my game.
Sign up for the Wiki Jamathon. You don't, just to clarify, you don't have to write a page to be in the Jamathon. You can write, you can play, you can GM, or you could do just one of those things. One does not mean gain you entry. You can do whatever you want. But it's going to be fun, so you should sign up for it.
Quelmarcon badges are now reservable and on sale. Quelmarcon 2022.
yeah.
Oh, go do that. We're gonna get the hot tub, guys. Enough people signed up. We're doing the hot tub. I know that's
Oh.
the real reason everyone's excited.
Actually, that's a good point. If you haven't gotten a badge and you plan on going, go get your badge now because we are sold out of twin beds and we are sold out of the honeymoon suite, the big one.
But you
Yes.
can get badges if you don't want a room.
Oh yeah.
Correct. We will never really sell out of badges for people who are staying off-site, but the on-site badges are very, very quickly sold out, and we are running out of space in the lodge. So if you want that full convention experience, staying on-site in the lodge with your friends for 3 days straight, go get that badge now.
Get that badge now, like right now, like right now. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my four wonderful players for making their way through this hellscape,
Making the way to
Dealing
the
with us.
queue.
whatever
When
it
will
is.
this house
No, Tyler,
end?
thank you for dealing with us. I'm so used to saying James.
So,
Tyler, thank you for dealing with us.
Yeah, for
yeah, we'll
real.
see if they can finally manage to make their way out of this hellscape next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And until then,
Keep
Keep rolling
Rolling
the
those dice.
dice.
amazing.